My child, listen to me very carefully, because what I am about to say is not ordinary. Something in your life is shifting right now, and you must not ignore this moment. The season that held you in confusion, delay, and quiet struggle is reaching its end, and a turning point has already begun to unfold around you. Stay with me and listen all the way to the end, because every word you are about to hear carries a piece of what I am doing in your life right now. Do not rush past this message. Do not let distractions pull you away. If you stay here and receive this fully, you will begin to understand why everything you walked through was preparing you for the moment where everything finally begins to turn around. My child, come closer and stay with me for a moment. I want to speak to the part of your heart that has been carrying more than you ever let anyone see. I have watched you move through days where you kept everything together on the outside while something inside you felt worn and uncertain. You have tried to stay strong, and in many ways you have succeeded, yet I know the deeper questions that follow you when you are alone with your thoughts. You have wondered if anything will really change, if the pressure you have felt will ever ease, and whether the direction of your life will finally begin to move in a way that makes sense. I see those thoughts as clearly as if they were written across the sky. Nothing about your struggle has been hidden from me. I have been beside you through every quiet moment when your mind searched for answers. Even when you felt like you were simply enduring one more day, I was paying close attention to the small movements of your heart. There is something I want you to understand right now. A shift has already begun inside your life. It may not yet appear dramatic or obvious when you look at your circumstances, but deep beneath what you can see, something has started to move in a different direction. You might think nothing has changed because the surface of your life still looks familiar, but the deeper layers are not the same as they were before. I have been working within places that human eyes cannot reach, arranging pieces of your story in ways that will soon begin to show themselves. The turning point you have been hoping for does not always arrive with noise or sudden announcement. Sometimes it begins quietly, almost like the slow arrival of morning light after a long night. At first, the darkness still seems present, yet something about the atmosphere begins to feel different. That is where you are right now. The heaviness that has followed you for so long will not remain the center of your life. You may still feel the memory of it, but the direction of your path is shifting away from that weight. You do not need to force this change or try to control it with your own strength. My role in your life has never been distant observation. I have been guiding the flow of your journey more closely than you realize. Every delay you struggled to understand, every closed door that confused you, and every unexpected pause along the way had been part of something that is still unfolding. When you look back later, you will begin to recognize that the story was never standing still. It was quietly moving toward a moment where the direction would finally begin to turn. You might not fully see it yet, but the part of your life that once felt trapped between uncertainty and exhaustion is beginning to loosen its grip. I know how long you have carried the sense that you were pushing forward, while the future stayed just out of reach. I saw the effort it took for you to keep believing that something better could still come, even when evidence felt scarce. Your perseverance mattered more than you realize. The way you continued walking through your days, even when hope felt fragile, has shaped the ground beneath your feet. The strength growing within you during those seasons did not appear overnight. It formed slowly through each decision you made to keep going. You might have thought those decisions were small, but they were deeply meaningful to me. When a person chooses to continue trusting while the path ahead feels unclear, something powerful begins to grow inside their spirit. That quiet strength is part of what prepared you for this moment where the direction of your life is beginning to change. I want you to hear me clearly on something important. The turning point happening now is not random, and it is not disconnected from what you have already lived through. The experiences that shaped your patience, and resilience have positioned you to step into something new without losing yourself in the process. When the path begins to open, you will carry wisdom that would not have existed if everything had happened quickly. I know that during the waiting it often felt like nothing meaningful was happening. You wondered if your prayers had been heard, or if your efforts were disappearing into silence. I heard every word you spoke, even the quiet ones that barely formed in your mind. I have been guiding the timing of things in ways that protect your future rather than rushing it. The shift beginning in your life now is not something fragile that could disappear with the next difficulty. It is part of a deeper movement that has been forming for a long time. You may notice small signs first, moments where clarity replaces confusion or where peace settles into places that once felt tense. Those moments will grow. The direction of your life is not locked into the same pattern you feared would last forever. Change is already unfolding, and I am walking with you as it continues. My child, stay with me and listen carefully, because I want you to see your own life through my eyes for a moment. There have been many days when people looked at you and assumed everything was fine. You carried yourself with a quiet strength that made it easy for others to overlook the weight you were holding. You learned how to smile when you needed to, how to move forward when stopping was not an option, and how to keep your responsibilities in motion even when your heart felt drained. Yet while the world saw your calm surface, I saw the deeper story unfolding inside you. I noticed the moments when you paused just long enough to catch your breath before continuing. I watched the way you tried to stay hopeful even when disappointment brushed against your plans. I heard the questions you asked in your thoughts when you wondered if your efforts were really leading anywhere. Nothing about those moments escaped my attention. Every quiet sigh, every hesitant prayer, every thought that crossed your mind late at night was known to me. You might have believed that those thoughts disappeared into the silence, but they did not vanish. I carried them with me because your life matters more than you realize. When you felt invisible in certain seasons, I was still watching closely. When others misunderstood your motives or overlooked the sincerity of your heart, I understood you fully. The world often measures people by visible success, by loud achievements, or by milestones that can be easily celebrated. But I do not look at your life that way. I see the decisions you make when no one else is paying attention. I see the moments when you choose patience instead of anger, when you choose kindness even after experiencing hurt, and when you choose to keep walking forward while uncertainty surrounds you. Those choices speak loudly to me. They show the character growing inside you. I know there were times when you felt like your effort was unnoticed, like your perseverance was happening in the background of life without recognition. But I want you to understand something deeply personal. I have been aware of every part of your journey. Your life has never been overlooked by me, not even once. The quiet courage you showed during difficult seasons is something I value deeply. What you thought were ordinary days were actually shaping something meaningful within you. The strength you built in silence will become visible when the next chapter of your life begins to open. Even now, as you listen to these words, I want you to pause and let that truth settle inside your heart. You were never unseen. You were never ignored. I have always been closer to your story than you imagined. And now I want you to take a moment and reflect with me. Think about the situations where you felt misunderstood or dismissed. Think about the conversations where your intentions were questioned or where your efforts seemed to go unnoticed. Those experiences may have left you wondering whether your sincerity truly mattered. I want you to release that doubt. Do not hold on to the belief that your life has been overlooked or wasted. You have been walking through a process that shaped your perspective, your patience, and your compassion toward others. Invite your heart to see those experiences differently now. Instead of viewing them as moments of rejection, begin to recognize them as moments where your character quietly strengthened. I want you to breathe deeply for a moment and allow your thoughts to slow down. Let your mind rest from the constant analysis of past disappointments. The story of your life has not been determined by the opinions of people who only saw fragments of who you are. Your identity has always been held within my understanding of you. I know the dreams you carry. I know the abilities I placed inside you long before anyone else had an opinion about your potential. When people overlooked you, I was still guiding your path. When opportunities seemed to pass you by, I was still protecting you from directions that would not have honored the person you are becoming. I invite you now to release the weight of comparison that sometimes creeps into your thoughts. Your journey was never meant to follow someone else's timeline or someone else's definition of success. Instead, your path has been carefully shaped by experiences that strengthened your inner life. The courage you develop during quiet seasons will become part of the way you guide others in the future. I want you to walk forward with that awareness. Lift your head and allow your heart to recognize that your life has been meaningful all along. The attention I have given to your journey has never wavered. Every step you took during uncertainty was seen. Every effort you made to remain faithful during hardship mattered. Stay close to me now as the next season of your life begins to unfold. Let your confidence grow not from the approval of others but from the understanding that you have always been known, valued, and guided by me. My child, I know there were seasons when waiting felt like standing in a long hallway with no doors opening in front of you. You tried to move forward, yet the path seemed strangely quiet. You looked for signs that things were changing, but many days appeared almost identical to the ones before them. During those times, your mind searched for explanations. You wondered if something had gone wrong or if you had missed an opportunity somewhere along the way. Waiting can create a certain kind of restlessness in the heart. It can make time feel heavier, as if the future has paused while the present keeps repeating itself. I saw those moments clearly. I watched you continue your responsibilities, keep your commitments, and maintain hope even when clarity seemed distant. There were times when you questioned whether your prayers were truly heard. I want you to understand something very important now. Those waiting seasons were never empty spaces in your story. While you were looking for visible movement, I was arranging pieces that needed careful timing. Some connections had to form slowly. Certain opportunities required preparation that could not be rushed. The direction of your life involved more than a single moment of change. It involved a series of steps that needed to align in the right order. When a person stands in the middle of waiting, it can feel like nothing meaningful is happening. But from my perspective, those quiet seasons were full of movement. I was shaping your perspective, deepening your understanding of yourself, and strengthening your ability to handle what lies ahead. The patience you develop during that time has value that cannot be easily measured. When something arrives after careful preparation, it carries a stability that sudden success rarely provides. I know you would have preferred faster answers. Many people would. Yet your life was never meant to unfold through rushed decisions or fragile foundations. A waiting period created space for wisdom to grow. It allowed you to observe your own heart more clearly. It gave you time to recognize what truly matters to you and what does not deserve your energy. All of that preparation has shaped the person you are today. The season that once looked like stillness was actually guiding you toward readiness. I want you to pause now and consider the patience that grew inside you during those quieter periods of your life. Invite yourself to remember how you learned to slow your expectations and examine your direction more thoughtfully. There were moments when you had to sit with uncertainty and decide whether you would continue trusting or allow frustration to take over. Those decisions were not insignificant. Each time you chose to keep believing that your life still held purpose, you strengthened your resilience. That strength is now part of who you are. I encourage you to breathe and let that realization settle in your heart. The waiting you experienced did not steal time from your life. Instead, it shaped the foundation of the future you are stepping into. Allow yourself to see those seasons through a wider perspective now. When you felt delayed, you were actually being protected from situations that would not have supported your growth. When certain doors stayed closed, it was not rejection but redirection. I want you to release the frustration you may still carry from those days. Let it go gently. Open your hands in your mind and imagine placing that frustration into my care. There is no reason for you to continue carrying it. The time ahead of you will reveal why those pauses were necessary. I invite you to move forward now with a calmer heart. Instead of fearing that the future might repeat the same waiting, begin to trust that the preparation you went through has positioned you for a different season. Pay attention to the subtle changes beginning around you. They may appear small at first, but they will grow clearer with time. Walk forward with curiosity instead of doubt. Allow hope to rise naturally within you. I am still guiding your steps, just as I did during the waiting. The difference now is that the path ahead is beginning to open, and the patience you learned will help you walk it with confidence. My child, stay here with me for a few moments and allow your heart to slow down. I want you to look at your journey from a different angle, one you rarely give yourself permission to see. You often measure your life by the moments when you felt uncertain, the days when you questioned whether you were doing enough, or the times when you felt like you were barely holding things together. But I want you to notice something that has been quietly developing within you. While you were focused on surviving difficult seasons, something deeper was forming inside your character. Strength was growing in places you could not easily recognize. You did not wake up one morning suddenly stronger than before. The change happened gradually, through ordinary days and challenging nights, through moments when you chose to keep moving even though your energy felt low. Every time you faced a situation that tested your patience, your resilience expanded a little further. Each time you felt discouraged but still took another step forward, you were building a foundation within yourself that could not be easily shaken. I watched those moments carefully. I saw the internal conversations you had with yourself when your confidence felt fragile. I noticed how you gathered your thoughts and chose to continue rather than withdraw. Those choices may have seemed small from your perspective, but they carried enormous meaning in the shaping of your spirit. Strength rarely arrives with loud announcements. It often forms quietly through lived experience, through the steady accumulation of lessons that refine your understanding of life. The difficulties you encountered were not meant to break you apart. Instead, they became part of a process that carved deeper wisdom into your heart. I want you to consider something with me. Imagine a person shaping a piece of stone into something beautiful. The process involves pressure, careful movement, and time. The stone does not always understand what the sculptor sees in advance, yet the sculptor continues because the final form is already imagined. In a similar way, the experiences you walked through were shaping you into someone capable of carrying greater responsibility, deeper compassion, and clearer discernment. Now I want you to pause and breathe slowly. Let your shoulders relax for a moment. Think about the person you were a few years ago and the person you are today. You may notice that your perspective has matured. Situations that once overwhelmed you are now approached with more patience. Conversations that once created anxiety are now handled with steadier confidence. Those changes did not appear by accident. They grew from the strength that developed during the seasons when you felt uncertain. I invite you to recognize that growth now. Do not dismiss it or rush past it. Your life had been forming something valuable, and you deserve to acknowledge it. Now I want to speak directly into your present moment, because the strength that grew quietly inside you is about to become visible in the way you move forward. You may not yet see the full path opening in front of you, but the person you have become is ready to walk it. I encourage you to stand up in your heart and accept that readiness. Let go of the idea that you are still the same person who once doubted your ability to endure. The experiences you have lived through have reshaped your understanding of yourself. There is a steadiness within you now that did not exist before. I want you to carry that awareness with you as you step into the next season of your life. Take a moment right now and invite confidence into your thoughts. Speak gently to yourself and acknowledge the growth that has taken place. You are not the same person who once felt lost in uncertainty. You are someone who has walked through complexity and gained insight along the way. That insight will guide you as new opportunities begin to appear. When challenges arise in the future, you will approach them with a calmer spirit because you have already learned how to endure. I encourage you to welcome this realization rather than resist it. Accept the strength that has been forming within you. Allow it to influence the way you see yourself and the way you approach the future. Do not shrink back from possibilities because of old doubts. Instead, step forward with the quiet assurance that you have been prepared through experience. The resilience you developed will support you in ways you cannot yet fully imagine. Continue walking with me as your guide. Stay attentive to the subtle ways your life is beginning to shift. When you feel uncertain again, return to the memory of how far you have already come. Let that memory remind you that growth often happens quietly before it becomes visible. The strength inside you is real, and it will help you navigate the changes unfolding ahead. My child, there were moments in your journey when you quietly wondered whether your life truly mattered in the larger picture of the world. You looked at the vastness of everything around you and felt small, almost like a single voice in a crowded place where no one could hear you clearly. Those thoughts sometimes appeared during quiet evenings or during days when your efforts seemed to blend into routine. You worked hard, tried to stay faithful to your responsibilities, and hoped that your life would lead somewhere meaningful. Yet uncertainty occasionally crept into your thoughts, asking whether your actions were truly making a difference. I understand those moments of reflection. They are part of being human. But I want to speak clearly into that uncertainty now. Your life has never been invisible to me. From the earliest moments of your existence, I have been aware of every detail that shapes who you are. The talents you carry, the compassion you show others, and the perseverance you demonstrate during difficult seasons all hold significance. Nothing about your life has ever slipped outside my awareness. Even during times when you felt unnoticed by others, I was still watching over you with care. When you experienced moments of disappointment, I understood the deeper emotions beneath them. When you celebrated small victories that few people noticed, I shared that joy with you. Your life is not measured solely by large achievements or public recognition. It is measured by the sincerity of your heart, the kindness you extend to others, and the choices you make when no one else is watching. I see those things clearly. I recognize the quiet ways you contribute to the lives of people around you. Sometimes your influence appears through a simple conversation that lifts someone's spirit. Sometimes it appears through your willingness to listen when someone else feels unheard. These moments may seem small to you, yet they carry tremendous value in the fabric of human connection. Your presence in this world matters far more than you realize. The path you are walking has meaning that extends beyond the immediate circumstances you see each day. I want you to allow that truth to settle gently within your heart. The story of your life is not random or insignificant. It is part of a larger design that continues to unfold with every step you take. Now I want to invite you to look ahead with a renewed sense of purpose. Instead of questioning whether your life matters, begin to recognize that your presence has already shaped the world around you in meaningful ways. Take a moment and reflect on the relationships you have built over time. Think about the people whose lives intersected with yours through simple, ordinary moments. Those connections were not accidents. They were opportunities for you to share your compassion, your understanding, and your encouragement. I encourage you now to carry that awareness into the days ahead. Allow yourself to move forward with the quiet confidence that your life has significance. When you wake up each morning, approach your day with the understanding that your actions, no matter how small they seem, can influence the atmosphere around you. Speak kindly to others. Offer your attention to those who feel overlooked. Continue developing the abilities that make you uniquely you. Your path does not require you to imitate anyone else's journey. It invites you to become fully present in the life you have been given. I want you to open your heart to this perspective. Release the habit of comparing your story to the stories of others. Comparison often clouds your ability to see the value of your own experiences. Instead, focus on the gifts you carry within yourself. They were placed there with intention. As you move forward, keep your attention on the opportunities that appear naturally in front of you. Some will arrive through new relationships. Others will appear through situations that invite your creativity and empathy. Approach those opportunities with curiosity and openness. I will continue guiding your path as you walk through them. Trust that your life is part of a larger narrative that is still unfolding. Each step you take contributes to that unfolding story. Walk forward with your head lifted and your heart open, knowing that you have always been seen, known, and valued by me. My child, come sit with me in this moment and allow your thoughts to slow down. I want to talk with you about the pain you have carried, because I know it has been heavier than you often admit. You have lived through experiences that left marks on your heart. Some of those moments came through words that were spoken carelessly by people you trusted. Some came through situations where your effort was not returned with the same loyalty you offered. There were also times when circumstances unfolded in ways you never expected, and you were left standing there trying to understand what had just happened to your life. I saw each of those moments clearly. I watched how you processed the confusion, how you tried to hold yourself together while your thoughts searched for answers. When disappointment first touched your heart, you hoped it would pass quickly. Yet some of those wounds lingered longer than you expected. They quietly followed you through your days, shaping the way you looked at new opportunities and new relationships. I know that part of you became cautious. You began to protect your heart more carefully because you did not want to feel that same pain again. That reaction is understandable. Anyone who has been hurt deeply will naturally become more careful about who they trust and what they hope for. But I want you to hear something very clearly now. The pain you experienced was real, yet it does not hold the authority to determine the direction of your future. It may have influenced the way you see certain things, but it does not have the power to write the final chapters of your story. You are not defined by the moments that hurt you. Your identity is not shaped by the failures of others or by the situations that once broke your expectations. I want you to gently release the belief that your life will always be limited by those memories. Imagine standing beside a river that has been flowing for many years. The water continues moving forward regardless of the rocks that once interrupted its path. In the same way, your life continues to move forward even when past experiences feel heavy. The direction ahead of you is still open. What you live through will eventually become part of your wisdom rather than the weight that holds you back. Now take a slow breath and allow your shoulders to relax. I want you to begin seeing your past from a wider perspective. The pain you walked through did not destroy your capacity to love, to hope, or to dream again. In fact, those experiences revealed the depth of your resilience. Even when your heart felt wounded, you continued living your life. You continued showing kindness to others. You continued searching for meaning and growth. That willingness to keep moving forward speaks volumes about your strength. I want you to acknowledge that strength today. Now I want to invite you to take a step with me toward healing. Do not rush past your emotions or pretend that those experiences did not affect you. Instead, allow yourself to recognize what you felt and then gently place those memories into my care. Imagine setting down a heavy bag that you have carried for far too long. You do not need to hold on to every painful detail as if it were part of your identity. The experiences you faced can remain part of your story without continuing to control your heart. I encourage you to open your hands and your mind and release the burden of resentment, disappointment, or regret that may still linger. Let those feelings move away from you like leaves drifting along a stream. As you do this, pay attention to the space that begins to open inside your thoughts. That space will allow something new to grow. Healing does not erase the past, but it changes the way the past influences your life. The wisdom you gain from those experiences will help you recognize healthier paths and stronger relationships in the future. You will begin to notice the difference between people who bring peace into your life and those who create confusion. I want you to trust your own discernment as it continues to grow. At the same time, allow your heart to remain open to the possibility of joy returning. Pain sometimes convinces people that protecting themselves means closing off entirely from new experiences. Yet your life was never meant to remain locked behind emotional walls. I invite you to step forward with courage, knowing that the lessons you learned will guide you. The past will become a teacher rather than a prison. Walk with me as you move into this new season. Continue choosing hope even when memories try to pull you backward. I will help you carry the wisdom of your experiences while releasing the weight of the pain itself. Your future still holds possibilities that are brighter than what you have seen so far. My child, there have been moments when you looked around at the lives of other people and quietly wondered if you had somehow fallen behind. Perhaps you watched friends, colleagues, or family members reach milestones that you once hoped would already be part of your own story. Those observations can stir something deep inside your thoughts. You begin asking questions about timing. You wonder if you made the wrong decisions at some point or if you missed opportunities that could have changed everything. These comparisons often appear subtly, almost like a whisper in the back of your mind. At first the thought might seem small, but over time it can grow louder if you allow it to remain unchecked. I understand how easy it is to measure your progress by what you see happening around you. Human lives are often displayed through visible achievements and moments that are easy to celebrate publicly. Yet what you rarely see are the hidden struggles, the private doubts, and the quiet seasons that exist behind those visible milestones. Every person's journey unfolds through a unique rhythm. The path you are walking has never been designed to mirror someone else's timeline. From the beginning of your life, your experiences have followed a sequence that is specific to you. The lessons you needed to learn, the people you needed to meet, and the insights you needed to gain could not all arrive at the same pace as someone else's story. When you look at your life through the lens of comparison, you risk overlooking the deeper progress that has been happening within you. I want you to step back from that habit for a moment. Imagine viewing your life as a long road rather than a race. On a road, different travelers move at different speeds depending on where they are going and what they need to learn along the way. Some may travel quickly for a season, while others move more slowly to explore what lies around them. The value of the journey is not determined by speed. It is determined by growth, awareness, and purpose. When you consider your own life from this perspective, you begin to see that the path you are walking has been forming your character and understanding in ways that are deeply meaningful. The patience you developed during uncertain seasons has given you insight that will guide your decisions in the future. The challenges you faced taught you how to adapt and continue moving forward. These qualities are not signs of delay. They are signs of preparation. Your life is not late. Your life is unfolding according to a rhythm that fits the person you are becoming. Now I want to invite you to release the pressure that comparison has placed on your heart. Let that pressure fall away gently. Close your eyes for a moment if you need to, and take a steady breath. I want you to picture yourself standing at the beginning of a new stretch of road. Instead of looking sideways at the progress of others, turn your attention forward toward the path that belongs to you. This is the direction where your energy belongs. The future ahead of you still contains opportunities that are uniquely aligned with your abilities and your values. When you move forward with that awareness, you begin to notice possibilities that once felt hidden. I encourage you to speak kindly to yourself as you step into this mindset. Replace the thought that you are behind with the understanding that you are exactly where you need to be in this moment of your life. The experiences you gathered so far will serve as tools for what comes next. When new doors begin to open, you will approach them with a deeper sense of clarity than you would have had earlier in your journey. Allow yourself to trust that timing is not something you must control perfectly. I am guiding the unfolding of your life in ways that protect your growth and your well-being. Instead of rushing forward with anxiety, walk with steady confidence. Pay attention to the opportunities that appear naturally in front of you. Explore them with curiosity rather than fear. Continue developing the talents and interests that make you who you are. As you do this, you will gradually notice that your path is opening in its own way. The story of your life does not need to resemble anyone else's story in order to be meaningful. Your journey has value because it is authentically yours. Walk forward with your head lifted, knowing that the timing of your life has always been held within careful guidance. My child, as you walk forward on the path that is uniquely yours, remember that I also place opportunities before you to help light the road for others. This message you are hearing is a lamp set upon a hill, and when you choose to support it through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal gift, you are sowing seeds that will reach hearts still wandering in darkness. I tell you now what I declared long ago: those who sow generously will also reap generously, and your offering becomes oil that keeps this light burning for many souls. When you feel the stirring in your spirit to help, know that it is not a random thought. It is my invitation moving within you. Through your generosity, rivers of encouragement flow to people who are beginning to believe that their lives can turn around starting now. The seed you release today will return as harvest in your own journey, favor, provision, and doors opening in their appointed time. If your heart is moved, act on it with faith. Send a super thanks, become a member, or give through PayPal using the link in the video description. Do not delay when I call you to sow. Step forward now and plant the seed I have placed in your hands. My child, stay close and listen carefully, because I want to speak to the place in your mind where uncertainty has lived for a long time. You have walked through seasons when the road in front of you seemed foggy and difficult to read. You tried to look ahead and understand where your life was going, yet the picture never stayed clear for very long. Some days you felt hopeful, almost certain that things would begin to make sense soon. Other days the questions returned, and your thoughts circled around the same uncertainties. I watched those moments closely. I saw how your mind tried to connect the pieces of your story. You examined past decisions, wondering if they had quietly shaped the confusion you felt about the future. You replayed conversations and circumstances, searching for signs that would explain what direction you were meant to take. That searching heart inside you has always mattered to me. It shows that you care deeply about living your life with purpose rather than drifting without intention. Yet I want to invite you now to loosen the grip that uncertainty has held on your thoughts. The direction ahead of you is beginning to come into focus, even if it is still unfolding gradually. Guidance rarely appears as a sudden map with every detail marked clearly. More often it arrives through small realizations that build over time. Think about the way dawn slowly replaces the night. At first the darkness still surrounds the horizon, yet a gentle light begins to spread across the sky. That light does not rush forward all at once, but it steadily reveals the shapes of the world that were hidden before. The same kind of clarity is beginning to emerge in your life. Situations that once felt confusing will start to make more sense as you continue walking forward. You may notice moments when an idea suddenly feels right, or when a certain choice brings peace rather than tension. Pay attention to those signals. They are part of the quiet guidance unfolding within your path. I want you to breathe slowly and allow your thoughts to settle. Let go of the pressure to figure out every step in advance. The future does not require you to see everything at once. Instead, it invites you to walk with awareness, noticing the opportunities that appear naturally along the way. As you move forward, the path will reveal itself piece by piece. Your role is not to control every outcome but to remain open and attentive. Stay present with your life. Observe what brings you energy and what drains it. Listen carefully to the instincts that rise within your heart when you face decisions. Those instincts are part of the wisdom you have gained from your experiences. I am guiding your journey through both visible opportunities and subtle impressions that shape your understanding. Trust that the direction ahead is not random. It is unfolding through a series of steps that will become clearer with time. Now I want you to do something very simple but powerful. Pause for a moment and imagine yourself standing at a crossroads. You have been there for a while, examining every possible path, worried about choosing the wrong direction. Instead of remaining frozen by that concern, take a gentle step forward. Do not rush or force yourself to decide everything immediately. Simply begin moving with curiosity and faith that the next piece of the path will reveal itself as you go. I invite you to welcome that sense of movement into your life now. Release the belief that you must have perfect clarity before you begin. Life rarely unfolds that way. Instead, clarity grows through action, reflection, and experience. When you take one thoughtful step forward, you gain new perspective that was not visible while standing still. I encourage you to remain patient with yourself as you explore the direction of your future. Allow your choices to be guided by the peace you feel inside rather than the pressure you feel from outside expectations. When a decision brings a quiet sense of rightness, pay attention to it. When something feels forced or heavy, give yourself permission to pause and reconsider. This way of listening to your inner awareness will gradually strengthen your confidence in the direction you are moving. I want you to keep walking with openness and courage. The path in front of you is not as uncertain as it once appeared. The experiences you gathered during previous seasons have prepared you to recognize opportunities that align with your purpose. As you continue moving forward, the pieces of your life will begin connecting in ways that once seemed impossible. Stay attentive to the small signals that appear along the way. They will guide you step by step into the next chapter of your story. My child, there are things in your life that once felt like heavy chains wrapped quietly around your spirit. Some of those chains form through fear. Others form through regret or through the lingering memory of moments when you believed you had failed. Over time, those feelings can create a subtle weight in the way a person thinks about the future. You begin approaching new opportunities with hesitation because part of your mind is still carrying the echoes of the past. I know how that weight has touched your heart. I have seen the moments when you held yourself back from stepping fully into possibilities because a quiet voice inside you whispered that you might not succeed. I have watched how certain memories returned unexpectedly, reminding you of times when things did not unfold as you hoped. Those experiences may have convinced you that moving forward required more courage than you felt ready to gather. But I want you to hear something clearly now. The weight you have been carrying is not meant to remain part of your life forever. There comes a moment when the past must loosen its grip so the future can breathe. That moment is beginning now. Imagine standing in a room where the windows have been closed for a long time. The air feels heavy, almost still, because nothing fresh has entered the space. When someone finally opens those windows, a gentle breeze moves through the room and changes the atmosphere. The air becomes lighter and easier to breathe. In a similar way, I am opening windows within your life. The burdens that once crowded your thoughts are beginning to move out of the way. Fear will not continue dictating the choices you make. Regret will not remain the voice that defines how you see yourself. The mistakes you remember so clearly have already taught you what they needed to teach. You do not need to replay them endlessly as if they still hold authority over your path. Instead, those experiences can become quiet teachers whose lessons remain while the pain fades away. I invite you to recognize that change happening now. The space inside your heart is beginning to open again. Opportunities that once felt intimidating will gradually appear more approachable. You may notice a growing willingness to try new directions, to explore ideas that once seemed too uncertain. That willingness is a sign that the chains are loosening. The part of your spirit that once felt restricted is rediscovering its freedom to move. Now I want to ask you to participate in this release. Take a moment to imagine placing every fear, regret, and self-doubt you have been carrying into my hands. Do not hold back or try to organize them neatly. Simply hand them over one by one. You might picture them as stones that you have been carrying in your pockets for years. Each stone represents a memory or belief that weighed on your confidence. Begin setting those stones down. Feel the difference in your posture as the weight leaves your hands. That is the freedom I want you to experience as you move forward. Invite your mind to remain open to the possibility that your life is no longer defined by those burdens. When old thoughts try to return, gently remind yourself that they no longer belong to your future. Replace them with the understanding that growth has already taken place within you. The lessons you learned remain valuable, but the heaviness attached to them can now fade away. I encourage you to step into this lighter way of living. Approach new opportunities with curiosity rather than hesitation. Allow your imagination to consider possibilities that once felt unreachable. As you move forward, notice how your energy begins to shift. The absence of old fears will create space for creativity, enthusiasm, and renewed confidence. Walk with that awareness as you continue through the next season of your life. The path ahead will feel different because you are no longer carrying what once held you back. My child, draw closer and give your full attention for a moment. I want to speak into the quiet questions that have passed through your heart when you wondered if your life truly carries lasting meaning. You have walked through periods when daily routines felt ordinary and the results of your effort seemed small compared to the expectations you once held. During those moments, it was easy for your thoughts to drift toward doubt. You may have looked at the world around you and assumed that purpose belongs only to those whose lives appear dramatic or widely celebrated. Yet that idea has never reflected the truth about how purpose grows. Purpose rarely arrives as a loud announcement. More often it develops through the faithful way you live each ordinary day. I have watched the decisions you make when no one else is observing. I have seen the compassion you showed during simple conversations. I have noticed the patience you extend toward people who are struggling. These quiet acts are not insignificant. They create ripples of influence that extend far beyond what you can see from your current perspective. When you offer encouragement to someone who feels discouraged, you alter the direction of their day. When you choose integrity in situations where it would be easier to compromise, you strengthen the environment around you. Those moments form part of a greater pattern that shapes the atmosphere of the lives you touch. I want you to pause and consider that idea carefully. Your purpose does not depend solely on large achievements or public recognition. It grows from the authenticity you bring into each interaction. The kindness you show, the wisdom you share, and the courage you display during difficult times all contribute to something meaningful. Imagine a garden where each seed appears small when first planted. The seed does not resemble the full beauty of the plant it will become. Yet within that small form lies the potential for growth that will eventually fill the garden with life. In the same way, the actions you take each day contain seeds of influence that continue developing long after the moment has passed. I want you to breathe slowly and allow that image to settle in your thoughts. The meaning of your life is already unfolding through the choices you make. You may not see the entire picture yet, but the seeds you plant through compassion, perseverance, and honesty are growing in ways that will reveal themselves over time. Your purpose is alive within you right now, and it continues to expand with every thoughtful step you take. Now I invite you to participate consciously in the purpose that is already forming within your life. Begin by shifting the way you look at the day in front of you. Instead of waiting for some distant moment when your purpose will suddenly appear, start recognizing the opportunities already surrounding you. When you speak with someone today, give them your full attention. Listen carefully to what they are sharing. Your presence alone can become a gift that brings comfort or clarity. When you notice a situation where encouragement is needed, step forward and offer it. Do not underestimate the power of a sincere word or a patient gesture. I encourage you to approach each interaction with awareness that your life carries influence. Let your actions reflect the values that matter most deeply to you. Choose honesty when truth feels challenging. Choose kindness when frustration tempts you toward hardness. Choose perseverance when the path ahead requires effort. These choices form the daily expression of your purpose. They shape the environment around you and quietly inspire others to move toward growth. I want you to walk forward with that awareness now. Lift your thoughts above the belief that your life must resemble someone else's story in order to be meaningful. Your journey carries a unique combination of experiences, talents, and insights that belong to you alone. When you embrace those qualities rather than comparing them to others, you begin to see how your path contributes something valuable to the world. Continue developing the abilities that bring you energy and curiosity. Explore the interests that stir your creativity. Allow your compassion to guide you toward opportunities where your presence can make a difference. As you do this, the sense of purpose you have been searching for will become clearer. It will not feel forced or artificial. Instead, it will grow naturally from the way you live each day. I will continue walking beside you as this purpose unfolds, guiding you through the moments where your life touches the lives of others. My child, remain here with me and listen closely because something important is beginning to unfold in the direction of your life. For a long time, certain areas of your journey appeared closed or limited. You looked at those places and assumed they might remain unchanged. Opportunities you once hoped for seemed distant or unreachable. Some doors appeared firmly shut, and you began adjusting your expectations to match what you believed was possible. I understand why those conclusions formed in your mind. When circumstances remain unchanged for a long period, it becomes natural to assume that the future will continue along the same pattern. Yet life is not confined to the patterns you have already seen. Possibilities exist beyond the boundaries created by past experiences. I want you to imagine standing in a large room where many doors surround you. Some of those doors have been closed for so long that you barely notice them anymore. They blended into the walls of your awareness, and you stopped considering what might exist behind them. But now something is shifting within that room. One by one, doors that once seemed permanently closed are beginning to open. Fresh light is entering through those openings, revealing paths that were hidden before. The opportunities ahead of you may not resemble the ones you originally imagined. Some will appear through unexpected conversations. Others will emerge through new ideas or connections that gradually form around you. I want you to approach these changes with curiosity rather than hesitation. When a new possibility appears, do not dismiss it immediately because it feels unfamiliar. Instead, take a moment to explore it thoughtfully. Ask yourself whether the opportunity aligns with the growth you have experienced and the values you hold. The future often introduces possibilities in ways that require openness and flexibility. I encourage you to remain attentive to those subtle invitations. Pay attention to the moments when your interest is sparked or when a situation feels quietly promising. Those impressions are signals that the landscape of your life is expanding. The doors that once felt unreachable are no longer locked. New directions are becoming visible, and they are inviting you to step forward. Now I want you to take an active role in welcoming these new possibilities. Begin by opening your mind to the idea that your future is not limited by what has happened in the past. Let go of the assumption that previous disappointments will continue repeating themselves. Instead, allow your imagination to explore what could happen if you approach the next chapter of your life with renewed openness. When an opportunity presents itself, examine it with patience rather than fear. Ask questions. Gather understanding. Consider how it might contribute to the direction you want your life to move. I encourage you to cultivate a mindset that welcomes exploration. Growth often begins when a person is willing to step into unfamiliar territory. That step does not require reckless risk. It simply requires the willingness to consider possibilities that once seemed distant. As you move forward, remain connected to your inner awareness. Notice which opportunities bring a sense of energy and which ones feel misaligned with your values. This discernment will guide you toward choices that support your long-term growth. I also invite you to take practical steps when the right opportunity appears. Reach out to people who share your interests. Develop skills that expand your capabilities. Continue learning from experiences that challenge you to grow. Each of these actions helps you engage with the possibilities that are opening around you. The future ahead of you contains more potential than you have allowed yourself to imagine. Walk toward it with courage and curiosity. The doors that are opening now are part of a larger unfolding story, and you are fully capable of stepping through them with confidence. My child, come closer and quiet the noise around your thoughts for a moment. I want to speak gently to the part of you that has been carrying tension for longer than you intended. There have been many days when your mind refused to slow down. You tried to rest, yet the questions continued circling through your thoughts like restless winds moving across open water. I saw those moments clearly. I noticed how you tried to solve problems that had not even happened yet. I watched your mind replay conversations and imagine different outcomes, as if you were trying to protect yourself from uncertainty by analyzing every possible scenario. That habit grows quietly when a person has faced disappointment before. Your heart learned to stay alert, hoping that careful thinking might prevent future pain. Yet constant vigilance slowly drains your spirit. It tightens your shoulders, shortens your breath, and fills your days with a quiet pressure that follows you everywhere. I know you have carried that weight. I also know that you long for something different. Deep within you there is a desire for calm, for a moment when your thoughts can rest without feeling responsible for controlling everything around you. I want you to understand something now. Peace is not a distant reward that belongs only to those whose lives are free from difficulty. Peace is something that can begin forming inside you even while life continues moving around you. Imagine a lake at sunrise. During the night the surface may have been disturbed by wind, yet as the morning arrives the water gradually becomes still. The reflections of the sky appear clearly once the movement settles. Your mind can experience a similar transformation. When you allow yourself to release the constant effort of trying to manage every outcome, your inner world begins to settle. I invite you now to take a slow breath. Let your shoulders relax. Notice how your body responds when you give yourself permission to pause. You do not need to carry every worry on your own. Many of the questions that trouble you will find their answers through time and experience rather than through endless analysis. I encourage you to trust the process unfolding in your life. The same guidance that has carried you through past challenges continues to walk beside you now. When you accept that support, the tension within your thoughts begins to loosen. The peace you have been longing for does not require a perfect life. It grows from the understanding that you are not alone in facing what lies ahead. Now I want to invite you into a small practice that will help this peace grow stronger in your daily life. Begin by creating moments where you deliberately step away from the noise that fills your mind. Set aside a few minutes during your day to breathe slowly and observe your thoughts without judging them. When a worry appears, acknowledge it gently and then let it pass rather than holding on to it. Imagine those worries as leaves floating down a quiet stream. They move through your awareness and continue flowing away. As you practice this simple act of release, you will notice your mind becoming more spacious. That space allows clarity and calm to enter. I encourage you to carry this mindset into the choices you make throughout your day. When a situation arises that once would have triggered anxiety, pause before reacting. Ask yourself whether the concern truly belongs to this moment or whether it is simply an echo from past experiences. This awareness will help you respond with wisdom rather than tension. I also invite you to create small rituals of calm in your life. Take a walk outside and notice the movement of the sky above you. Listen to music that softens your thoughts. Speak with someone who brings warmth into your heart. These simple actions remind your spirit that life contains beauty as well as responsibility. As you continue practicing this way of living, the peace within you will deepen. It will begin to influence how you approach challenges, relationships, and decisions. Others may even notice the calm presence you bring into their lives. Remember that peace is not something you must chase endlessly. It grows naturally when you allow your heart to rest in trust. Stay close to me and keep inviting that calm into your daily rhythm. The storm of restless thinking will gradually quiet, and you will discover that a steadier atmosphere is already forming within you. My child, remain here with me because I want to speak about something deeply personal between us. There were moments in your life when you spoke to me with a heart that felt uncertain. Some of those prayers were confident and full of hope. Others were quiet whispers shaped by exhaustion or confusion. I heard every one of them. Even the words you barely formed in your mind reached me. When you felt overwhelmed and could not find the right language to express what you were feeling, your silence still carried meaning. I understood the emotion behind it. You might have wondered whether those prayers disappeared into empty space. Perhaps there were nights when you spoke into the darkness and waited for some sign that your voice had been heard. When answers did not arrive immediately, doubt sometimes crept into your thoughts. The doubt is something many people experience. It often appears when the distance between asking and receiving feels longer than expected. Yet the absence of immediate answers does not mean your faith went unnoticed. Imagine planting seeds in soil that you cannot see beneath the surface. After placing those seeds in the ground, the garden may appear unchanged for a while. But beneath its soil, life is quietly forming. Roots begin to grow. Tiny stems prepare to rise toward the light. In the same way, your prayers have been part of a process that continues unfolding beyond what you can observe right now. The faith you expressed during difficult seasons has shaped the direction of your life in ways that are still developing. I have been listening carefully to every concern you placed before me. I have been guiding events with wisdom that considers the full picture of your journey. Some answers required time because they involved circumstances that needed to align gradually. Other answers appeared in forms you did not immediately recognize. Guidance sometimes arrives through opportunities, through conversations, or through new insights that emerge within your thoughts. I encourage you to look back at your life and notice the subtle ways direction has appeared along the way. Those moments are part of the response to your faith. Nothing you shared with me has been ignored. Now I want you to strengthen the connection between your heart and the trust that has carried you through these seasons. Continue speaking to me honestly about what you hope for and what you fear. There is no need to hide your uncertainty. Bring your full self into our conversations. When you feel grateful, express that gratitude openly. When you feel confused, tell me about it without hesitation. This openness creates a space where your faith can grow naturally rather than through pressure. I also encourage you to remain attentive to the ways guidance appears around you. Answers do not always arrive as dramatic moments. Sometimes they reveal themselves through a gentle sense of direction that becomes clearer over time. When you notice those impressions, follow them thoughtfully. They are part of the dialogue between us. Your faith has already played a meaningful role in shaping your journey, and it will continue guiding you as new chapters unfold. Allow that awareness to strengthen your confidence. Instead of assuming that silence means absence, consider the possibility that something meaningful is still forming beneath the surface. Walk forward with patience and curiosity. The seeds planted through your prayers are continuing to grow, and the fruit of that growth will appear in the right season. My child, stay here with me for a moment and allow your thoughts to slow down again. I want you to consider something that is easy to forget when life becomes heavy. Your story is not finished. You sometimes look at the past chapters of your life and assume they define everything that will follow. When painful seasons linger in your memory, it can feel as if the future will simply repeat what has already happened. I know how those thoughts grow inside your mind. You replay certain moments, wondering whether they mark the peak of what your life could become. But I want you to listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. The pages you have already lived are only a portion of the book that is still being written. Imagine a long journey recorded across many chapters. Early pages may describe struggle, confusion, and waiting. Yet those sections exist to prepare the ground for what will come later. A story that stopped in the middle would leave its purpose unfinished. Your life has not reached its final chapter. The experiences you have walked through so far are shaping the direction of what will unfold next. I have watched every step you have taken. I have seen how you navigated uncertainty and how you continued moving forward even when your path felt narrow. Those moments did not lead you into a dead end. They prepared you for a turn that is beginning to appear ahead. When you look at the road behind you, you may see disappointment or delay. When I look at that same road, I see preparation, patience, and resilience forming inside you. Those qualities are not accidental. They are part of the design of your journey. I want you to lift your eyes now and imagine the pages still waiting to be written. New conversations will enter your life. Unexpected opportunities will appear in places you did not anticipate. Relationships will form that add depth and color to your story. The direction ahead of you is not empty space. It is an unfolding path where your growth will continue to reveal itself. Breathe slowly and allow that idea to settle in your heart. The future does not belong to fear or limitation. It belongs to possibility. Your story is still moving forward, and I am guiding every step with care. Now I want you to participate actively in the unfolding of this next chapter. Instead of looking back constantly at what has already happened, turn your attention toward what is forming ahead. Invite curiosity into your thoughts. Ask yourself what new experiences might be waiting just beyond the horizon of your current understanding. You do not need to predict every detail. Life reveals itself through moments that gradually connect with one another. When an opportunity appears, approach it with openness rather than hesitation. When you meet someone new, listen carefully to the conversation and consider how that connection might influence your path. I encourage you to keep your heart flexible as you walk through these experiences. Growth often arrives through unexpected directions. Let your creativity guide you toward exploring ideas that spark your interest. Allow yourself to try something new without fearing that you must succeed immediately. Every step you take adds another line to the story that is unfolding. I want you to recognize that your life carries a narrative that continues evolving with each decision you make. You are not standing at the end of the road. You are standing in the middle of a story that still holds many pages of discovery. Walk forward with your mind open and your spirit attentive. I will continue guiding the direction of your journey as these new chapters reveal themselves. My child, as the next chapter of your story begins to unfold, I am also writing new chapters in the lives of many who will hear these words. This message is like seed carried by the wind, and when you support this work through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal offering, you help that seed fall into hearts that are ready for transformation. Remember the promise I spoke: cast your bread upon the waters, and after many days you will find it again, and what you release today will return to you as blessing and provision. Perhaps you feel a quiet nudge inside you even now. That is my voice inviting you to participate in the harvest of souls. Your generosity becomes oil in the lamp, ensuring that this light continues reaching people standing in dark and uncertain seasons. As you give, I will multiply your seed, guard your path, and open doors that align with the story I am writing for your life. If you feel called, send a super thanks, join as a member, or give through PayPal using the link in the video description. Do not ignore this moment. Answer my invitation and sow your seed now. My child, there was a time when the future felt shadowed by uncertainty. You looked ahead and could not clearly imagine how things would improve. The difficulties you faced seemed to stretch endlessly in front of you. During those moments, your mind naturally tried to prepare for the worst possibilities. That instinct was your way of protecting yourself from disappointment. I understand why those thoughts formed. When life brings repeated challenges, it becomes difficult to imagine a brighter direction. But I want you to look at the horizon again now, because the landscape ahead of you is beginning to change. Imagine standing outside just before dawn. During the deepest part of the night, the sky appears completely dark. Yet as time moves forward, a faint glow begins to appear along the edge of the horizon. The darkness does not disappear instantly, but the atmosphere slowly shifts. The shapes of the world become visible again. That quiet transition is similar to what is happening in your life right now. The uncertainty that once covered your future is beginning to lift. New light is entering places that once felt shadowed. You may not see the full brightness yet, but the change has already started. I want you to take a deep breath and recognize this moment as a turning point in your perception. The path ahead of you is not defined by the fears that once occupied your mind. It is shaped by the possibilities that are gradually emerging through your experiences. I have been guiding circumstances in ways that will bring clarity as you move forward. The relationships forming around you, the insights appearing in your thoughts, and the opportunities that begin to open will reveal that your future holds more promise than you expected. The darkness you once imagined as permanent is giving way to a new perspective. Now I invite you to shift the way you approach the days ahead. Instead of expecting difficulty at every turn, begin looking for signs of growth and opportunity. Pay attention to the moments when something unexpectedly works in your favor. Notice the people who offer support or encouragement along your path. These experiences are part of the light that is gradually filling the horizon of your life. I encourage you to welcome them with gratitude rather than suspicion. Allow your mind to recognize that positive change is possible. When doubts appear, do not fight them with frustration. Simply acknowledge them and return your focus to the progress you can observe around you. Continue taking thoughtful steps toward the goals that matter to you. Each action you take contributes to the unfolding direction of your life. You are not walking toward a future defined by darkness. You are moving toward a landscape where clarity, opportunity, and growth will continue expanding. Walk forward with steady confidence. The horizon ahead is brighter than it once appeared, and the light will continue increasing as you move closer to it. My child, remain here with me for a while and let your mind revisit parts of your journey that once confused you. There are moments in your past that still feel unresolved. You remember certain situations that seemed unfair or strangely timed. Perhaps you worked hard towards something that never unfolded the way you expected. Maybe a door closed just when you believed it would finally open. At the time, those experiences created questions that lingered in your thoughts. You tried to understand why events moved in that direction. I saw your frustration during those moments. I watched you look for explanations while life continued moving forward without offering immediate clarity. When circumstances appear incomplete, it can feel as if the story has been interrupted before reaching its conclusion. Yet I want you to understand something important now. Many parts of your journey were not meant to be understood immediately. The perspective needed to make sense of those moments grows slowly as your life continues unfolding. Imagine standing very close to a large painting. When you focus only on a small section, the shapes and colors might appear confusing. But when you step back and view the entire canvas, the image becomes clearer. In the same way, the events that once seemed random or painful will reveal their meaning as the broader picture of your life develops. I have been guiding the sequence of your experiences with a wider understanding of what you needed to learn and where you were meant to go next. Some closed doors protected you from paths that would have led to deeper disappointment. Certain delays gave you time to develop wisdom that will soon become valuable. Even the relationships that ended unexpectedly played a role in shaping the strength and clarity you carry today. I want you to breathe slowly and allow yourself to trust that the story of your life contains layers you have not fully seen yet. What once appeared confusing will eventually make sense in ways that bring peace rather than regret. Your past is not a collection of mistakes scattered randomly across your memory. It is a series of lessons and turning points that have quietly prepared you for the direction now emerging in front of you. Now I invite you to approach your memories with gentleness rather than frustration. Instead of replaying those moments with the question of what went wrong, begin asking what they helped you become. Consider the patience you developed during delays. Think about the insight you gained after facing disappointment. Notice the strength you discovered while navigating uncertainty. These qualities did not exist in the same way before those experiences occurred. They were shaped by the journey you walked through. I encourage you to carry this perspective as you continue forward. When something new unfolds in your life, remember that understanding sometimes arrives later rather than immediately. Allow yourself the freedom to live without forcing every event to reveal its meaning right away. Curiosity will serve you better than anxiety in those moments. When you encounter something that feels confusing again, pause and remind yourself that clarity may still be forming beneath the surface. Walk forward with trust that the larger design of your life continues unfolding step by step. I will keep guiding the sequence of your experiences with care. Over time, you will look back and recognize how each chapter connected to the next. What once felt like scattered events will reveal themselves as part of a thoughtful pattern that shaped your journey toward growth. My child, I want to speak gently about something deeply personal inside you. There was a time when your heart moved through the world with openness and ease. You trusted people naturally and believed that most connections would bring understanding and warmth. Over time, certain experiences changed that feeling. Situations arose where trust was not returned with the same sincerity you offered. Words were spoken that left you uncertain about the intentions of others. Those moments did not simply pass through your life without leaving an impression. They caused your heart to become more cautious. You learned to observe people more carefully before letting them close to you. That caution was your way of protecting yourself from further disappointment. I understand why that instinct formed. When someone has been hurt emotionally, the heart becomes attentive to signs of potential risk. Yet I also want you to know that the capacity to trust has not disappeared from within you. It has only been waiting for the right environment to grow again. Imagine a small garden that experienced a harsh season. The plants may have wilted during the cold, but the roots beneath the soil remained alive. When warmth returns and the soil receives care, new growth begins to appear. Your heart is experiencing a similar renewal. The wisdom you gained from past experiences will now guide you toward relationships that are healthier and more balanced. Instead of trusting blindly, you are learning how to trust thoughtfully. That shift does not close your heart, it strengthens it. I have watched the way you have slowly opened yourself again to conversation, collaboration, and friendship. Even small gestures of connection reveal that your spirit still carries the desire to share life with others. This ability to reconnect is a sign of healing. It shows that your heart is resilient. You did not allow past disappointment to turn into permanent isolation. Instead, you continued moving toward growth, even when it required courage. Now I want to encourage you to continue nurturing this renewed capacity for trust. Allow yourself to approach relationships with both openness and awareness. You do not need to rush into every connection immediately. Take time to observe how people communicate, how they respond during moments of difficulty, and how they treat others around them. These observations will help you recognize the qualities that deserve your trust. When you find individuals who demonstrate honesty and kindness, give yourself permission to share your thoughts and experiences gradually. Trust develops through repeated moments of reliability and understanding. I invite you to see this process as something positive rather than risky. Each healthy connection adds strength to your sense of belonging. Your heart becomes more confident as it experiences respect and mutual care. Continue paying attention to how you feel when you interact with others. When a conversation leaves you feeling calm and valued, notice that signal. It often reveals that the relationship is built on sincerity. I will continue guiding you toward people who support your growth and share your values. Allow yourself to participate in those connections with hope rather than fear. Your heart is capable of building relationships that are both meaningful and balanced. As you move forward, trust will no longer feel fragile. It will become a quiet strength that helps you form deeper bonds with the people who truly belong in your life. My child, stay with me in this moment and allow your mind to rest for a while. I want you to recognize something that has quietly been true throughout your entire journey, even during the seasons when you felt alone. You have never been walking through life without support. There were moments when you believed that everything depended entirely on your own strength. You carried responsibilities, worries, and decisions as if the full weight of your life rested on your shoulders. I saw how serious you were about doing the right thing. I noticed how carefully you tried to hold your world together when situations became complicated. During those times you may have looked around and wondered where help would come from. Sometimes it seemed like you were standing in the middle of a storm without shelter. Yet even in those moments you were not abandoned. I was close to you in ways that were easy to overlook because my care often worked quietly rather than dramatically. Imagine walking through a forest path during a windy evening. The branches above move and the air carries a restless sound. You might focus on the noise around you, not noticing the solid ground beneath your feet that continues holding you steady. My care has been like that ground beneath you. It has supported you even when your attention was fixed on the movement of circumstances around you. I guided conversations that helped you find direction. I influenced moments when someone offered advice or encouragement just when you needed it. I protected you from paths that would have taken you further away from peace. Those forms of care did not always appear obvious, yet they were present all along. You may remember times when a sudden opportunity appeared after you felt completely stuck. Perhaps you recall a conversation that shifted your understanding in a way you did not expect. Those moments were not random accidents scattered through your life. They were expressions of guidance moving quietly through your experiences. I want you to pause now and think about the times when help arrived unexpectedly. Notice how those moments appeared just when you needed them most. That pattern is part of the care surrounding your journey. My presence has never been distant from you. It has been woven through your life in ways that continue guiding your steps. Now I invite you to become more aware of that care as you move forward. Begin paying attention to the subtle forms of support appearing around you each day. When someone offers kindness, receive it without hesitation. When a new idea sparks clarity in your mind, explore it thoughtfully. These moments are signals that you are not navigating life alone. I encourage you to trust the presence of guidance even when circumstances feel uncertain. Instead of carrying every worry by yourself, place those concerns into my care and allow your thoughts to relax. Let your shoulders drop and your breathing become steady. Notice how different your perspective becomes when you remember that support surrounds you. I want you to approach the coming days with that awareness. Walk through your responsibilities with confidence that you are being guided toward growth and understanding. When challenges appear, pause and remind yourself that solutions often arrive through unexpected directions. Stay attentive to the people and opportunities entering your life. Many of them will carry the answers you have been searching for. Continue walking forward with an open heart, knowing that my care travels with you through every season. You do not have to face the future alone. My child, there is something important happening in your life right now, even if you cannot fully see it yet. Change often begins quietly beneath the surface before it becomes visible in the world around you. You have spent a long time waiting for signs that your situation would shift. During that waiting, you sometimes questioned whether anything was truly moving forward. The progress felt slow, almost invisible. Yet transformation rarely arrives all at once. It develops through small adjustments that gradually reshape the direction of your path. Think about the way a seed grows beneath the soil. At first, the ground above it appears unchanged. Days pass without visible movement. But underneath the surface, roots are forming and gathering strength. Eventually, a small shoot appears, and what once seemed hidden becomes unmistakably real. Your life is moving through a similar stage of development. The changes you have hoped for are beginning to take shape, even if they have not yet reached full visibility. I have been arranging circumstances and guiding your growth in ways that will soon become easier to recognize. You may begin noticing small improvements first. A situation that once felt difficult may start to ease. An opportunity might appear where there was previously only uncertainty. Conversations may lead to connections that open new doors. These early signs are the first glimpses of a transformation that has been building quietly over time. I want you to remain attentive to these subtle shifts. Do not dismiss them simply because they seem small. Every visible change begins with a subtle beginning. When you recognize these moments, allow yourself to appreciate them. They are evidence that the direction of your life is moving forward. The waiting period you experienced is gradually giving way to a season where progress becomes clearer. Now I encourage you to participate actively in this unfolding transformation. Keep your attention focused on the possibilities that are appearing rather than on the limitations that once surrounded you. When a small opportunity arises, treat it with care and curiosity. Explore it thoughtfully rather than assuming it will lead nowhere. Growth often expands through the willingness to engage with these early signs of change. I invite you to approach your days with expectation rather than doubt. Look for the moments where progress becomes visible, even in simple forms. Perhaps you notice that a decision feels easier than before. Perhaps you find yourself speaking with greater confidence about your goals. These experiences are signals that the transformation within you is beginning to show itself outwardly. Continue nurturing that growth by staying open to new experiences. Learn from the situations that challenge you and celebrate the ones that encourage you. As you move forward, the visible signs of change will continue increasing. What once felt hidden will become clear evidence that your life is evolving. Walk confidently into this season of emerging progress, knowing that the transformation already underway will soon be impossible to ignore. My child, come close again and listen with your heart, because I want to speak about something you may have quietly wondered about. There was a time when joy came easily to you. You could look at ordinary moments and still find something worth smiling about. Simple experiences carried warmth. A conversation, a quiet evening, or even a small success during the day could fill your heart with a sense of lightness. But as life moved forward, certain seasons placed pressure on your spirit. Responsibilities increased, unexpected disappointments appeared, and some days felt heavier than the ones before them. Gradually, that light feeling of joy seemed to fade into the background of your life. It did not disappear completely, but it became more difficult to reach. You may have noticed yourself becoming more serious, more focused on solving problems than enjoying the moment you were standing in. I understand how that shift happened. When a person carries many concerns, the mind often prioritizes survival over celebration. Yet I want you to know that the part of you capable of experiencing joy has never been lost. It has simply been waiting for space to breathe again. Imagine a garden that went through a difficult season. Harsh weather may have covered the ground with frost, leaving the soil quiet for a while. But beneath its surface, life continues, preparing for renewal. When the conditions change and warmth returns, the first signs of growth begin to appear. Your heart works in a similar way. The joy that once felt distant is not gone. It is waiting for the moment when your mind relaxes enough to notice the beauty still present in your life. I invite you now to consider the small things around you. Think about the moments when a conversation made you feel understood. Remember the times when a piece of music, a walk outside, or a kind gesture lifted your mood unexpectedly. These experiences may have seemed minor at the time, yet they reveal that joy has been quietly visiting your life even during challenging seasons. I want you to recognize those moments rather than overlook them. They are the early signs of a deeper sense of happiness returning to your spirit. Your life is not destined to remain heavy forever. The emotional landscape inside you is beginning to soften, and that softness will allow joy to grow again. Now I want to invite you to actively welcome joy back into your daily life. Begin by giving yourself permission to notice the moments that bring warmth into your heart. When something makes you smile, pause and let that feeling remain for a few seconds rather than rushing past it. When you experience gratitude for something simple, acknowledge it fully. I encourage you to create small spaces in your day where your attention shifts from worry to appreciation. Step outside and look at the sky for a moment. Listen to laughter when it appears around you. Speak with someone who reminds you of the good parts of life. These actions might seem small, yet they have the power to reawaken the sense of joy that has been waiting within you. I also invite you to release the belief that happiness must come only after every problem has been solved. Joy can exist alongside responsibility. It can grow quietly even while you continue working toward your goals. When you allow yourself to experience it without guilt, your spirit becomes stronger and more resilient. Walk forward with this understanding. The days ahead will contain moments of light that gradually brighten your perspective. As you continue embracing those moments, you will discover that joy is returning naturally, filling the spaces that once felt empty. My child, stay with me as we look at the present moment together. There is something important happening right now in the rhythm of your life. You have been moving through a season that required patience, reflection, and growth. During the time you learned lessons that shaped your understanding of yourself and the world around you. Some of those lessons arrived gently. Others appeared through experiences that challenged your confidence. Each one contributed to the person you have become today. Yet seasons are never meant to last forever. Just as the natural world shifts from winter into spring, the seasons of your life also change over time. I want you to recognize that you are standing at the edge of a new chapter. The atmosphere around your journey is beginning to shift. The concerns that once occupied most of your attention are gradually losing their hold. In their place, new opportunities and perspectives are appearing. Imagine the moment when the first warm breeze arrives after a long winter. The air feels different, carrying the promise that something fresh is about to unfold. That same sense of renewal is beginning to touch your life. You may notice it through small changes in how you think about the future. Ideas that once felt distant might now seem possible. Conversations may lead you toward paths you had not previously considered. These subtle signals reveal that a new season is opening before you. I want you to pause and acknowledge this transition. Recognize how far you have come and how much you have learned along the way. The growth you experienced during the previous season has prepared you to walk confidently into what lies ahead. Now I invite you to step into this new season with openness and courage. Let go of the habits that belonged to the previous chapter of your life. Release the belief that you must remain defined by past difficulties. Instead, allow your attention to focus on what is emerging in front of you. When new opportunities appear, approach them with curiosity rather than hesitation. When you feel inspired to explore a different direction, give yourself permission to follow that instinct thoughtfully. I encourage you to carry the wisdom you gained from earlier experiences while remaining flexible enough to adapt to new possibilities. The season ahead will invite you to grow in ways that may surprise you. It may introduce people who support your vision and ideas that expand your perspective. Walk into these experiences with confidence that your life is moving forward according to a rhythm that continues to unfold with purpose. Remember that every season has its own beauty and its own lessons. The one beginning now holds the potential for renewal, discovery, and progress. Embrace it fully, knowing that the journey ahead is guided with care and intention. My child, come closer and stay with me for these final moments of our conversation, because I want you to understand something deeply personal about the road you are walking right now. Your life is moving through a turning point. It may not feel dramatic from the outside, and you may still see familiar circumstances around you, but the direction of your story is changing. I want you to pause and truly take that in. Do not rush past this moment. Let it settle into your thoughts. You have been walking through seasons where the future felt uncertain and the weight of responsibility sometimes felt heavy on your shoulders. During those days, you continued moving forward even when your confidence felt fragile. You kept showing up for your life even when you did not have clear answers about where everything was leading. I saw every step of that journey. I watched you choose perseverance when it would have been easier to withdraw. I noticed the quiet courage you carried when you faced decisions that felt complicated. Those choices shaped the strength that now lives within you. I want you to understand that the turning point happening in your life is not random. It is connected to the path you have already walked, the patience you developed, the insight you gained, and the resilience you built through your experiences have prepared you for what is beginning to unfold now. Imagine standing at the edge of a long road that curves gently toward a horizon you have not fully seen yet. Behind you lies a trail filled with lessons, memories, and growth. Ahead of you is a landscape where new possibilities are forming. I want you to lift your eyes and look toward that horizon with openness rather than hesitation. The future does not require you to carry the same fears that once held your attention. Instead, it invites you to step forward with the understanding that you have been guided every step of the way. Even when you felt uncertain, you were not walking alone. My presence hath been beside you through every chapter of your life, quietly guiding the direction of your steps and shaping the opportunities that appeared along your path. Now take a slow breath and allow that awareness to settle into your heart. The road ahead may still contain moments of challenge, but it also holds growth, connection, and renewal. This turning point marks the beginning of a season where the effort you invested in your journey begins revealing its purpose. Now I invite you to move forward with intention and confidence. Let your heart remain open to the experiences that will shape this next chapter. When new opportunities appear, approach them with curiosity instead of doubt. When you meet people who bring encouragement into your life, welcome those connections and allow them to strengthen your sense of belonging. I encourage you to remain attentive to the quiet guidance that continues speaking through your thoughts and experiences. Sometimes direction will come through a conversation that sparks a new idea. Other times it will appear through a moment of clarity when you realize that a certain path feels right for you. Trust those signals. They are part of the way your journey continues unfolding. As you walk forward, remember that you do not need to control every outcome. Life grows through exploration and discovery. Your role is to remain present, to learn from each experience, and to continue moving toward the future with faith in the process that has been guiding you. I want you to carry this understanding with you now. The turning point you hoped for is already beginning. The direction of your life is shifting toward something brighter and more meaningful than you once imagined. Walk forward with your head lifted and your spirit steady. I am with you as everything begins to turn, and together we will continue shaping the story that lies ahead. My child, as everything begins to turn in your life, I am also turning the hearts of many who are waiting to hear my voice through this message. This work is a river carrying living water to thirsty souls, and when you support it through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal gift, you help that river flow farther than you can see. I remind you of the promise I spoke: give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. When the desire rises within you to help, recognize it as my spirit inviting you to become part of this moment of awakening. Your offering becomes fire on the altar, fuel that spreads light to people who are standing at the edge of their own turning point. As you sow into this mission, I release favor over your path, protection over your household, and multiplication over the work of your hands. If your heart is stirred, respond with faith. Send a super thanks, become a member, or give through PayPal through the link in the video description. This is your moment to act. Step forward now and release the seed I have placed in your hands. And once you have responded, let your heart rest in the warmth of what has begun. Seeds sown in faith do not remain unseen. They become part of a greater shift unfolding around you. What you have aligned with is already breaking through places that once felt frozen and still. This is the moment where obedience meets renewal, where what was planted begins to thaw and rise. So stay here and feel it, because the change you have been waiting for is no longer distant. It is here. My child, listen to the sound of my voice cutting through the noise of your daily grind. I am speaking directly to you right now, in this very moment, because the long, bitter winter of your soul has finally come to an end. You have endured the frost for so long that you started to believe the cold was your permanent home. But I am here to tell you that the ice is cracking under the weight of my glory. I am declaring a total shift in your atmosphere, and I want you to feel the warmth of my presence reaching into those places where you felt most frozen. You have spent enough nights shivering in fear of the future, wondering if the sun would ever rise on your dreams again. I am the Son of Righteousness, and I am rising over your life with healing in my wings. Pause for a second and take a deep breath. You feel that? That is the breath of life returning to your lungs. I am commanding the season of mourning to pack its bags and leave your house immediately. You have worn the heavy cloak of sadness like a second skin, but I am stripping it off you right now. I am replacing your sorrow with a joy so real and so grounded that it will make you want to dance in the very hallway where you used to pace in anxiety. You don't have to wait for everything to look perfect before you celebrate. I am telling you that the turnaround has already begun in the unseen realm, and it is manifesting in your physical reality starting this very minute. I am breaking the seal of the former things in your life. You have been defined by what happened to you 5 years ago, 2 years ago, or even yesterday, but I am erasing those labels. Stop looking at the rearview mirror of your life. It is a distorted image that only shows you where you've been hurt. I am commanding you to look forward. I am doing a new thing, and I'm asking you if you can perceive it. My voice is echoing through your bank account, through your doctor's reports, and through the silence of your lonely evenings. I am speaking life into every dead situation. I am speaking abundance into every empty cupboard. I am speaking peace into every chaotic thought that tries to steal your sleep. You can feel the spiritual atmosphere changing over your home. I am hovering over your rooftop and walking through your living room. I am driving out the spirit of heaviness that has made your home feel like a prison instead of a sanctuary. I am inviting you to accept this now word for your life. This isn't a promise for next year or a maybe for the future. This is my decree for your current reality. I am your Father, and I am personally involved in the details of your day. I see the bills on the counter. I see the tension in your marriage, and I see the way you try to hide your tears from your children. I am stepping into those exact spaces to turn the tide in your favor. Believe me when I say that the delay is over. You have been in a holding pattern, circling the same problems over and over, but I am clearing you for landing. I am the God of the breakthrough, and I am breaking through the walls of resistance that the enemy built around your destiny. You are moving from a season of not enough to a season of more than enough. You are moving from the shadows into the spotlight of my favor. I am calling you to stand up, shake off the dust of the past, and walk into the light. I am with you, I am for you, and I am making all things new for you right now. This is your moment. This is your turnaround. This is my love in action. My beloved, I want you to look at your hands. You may not see them with your physical eyes, but there are invisible threads of what used to be that have been tying you down, making every step forward feel like you're wading through deep, thick mud. I am here right now to sever every one of those ties. I am commanding the ghosts of your past failures to stop haunting the hallways of your mind. You have replayed that mistake from years ago 1,000 times, haven't you? You wake up in the middle of the night and let regret sit on your chest like a heavy weight. I am telling you to breathe. I am dissolving those chains of regret with the fire of my grace. I am not a God who keeps a scorecard of your stumbles. I am the God who picks you up, brushes the dust off your knees, and says, "Let's try again." I am releasing you from the spirit of stagnation that has made you feel like you are running on a treadmill, working so hard, sweating so much, yet never actually getting anywhere. You feel like you're stuck in the same cycle of debt, the same arguments with your spouse, the same dead-end feelings at your job. I am breaking that cycle today. I am commanding the stuck places in your life to move. I am dissolving the heavy chains of generational debt, not just the money you owe, but the patterns of lack and not enough that you inherited from those who came before you. You are the one I have chosen to break the line. Above it, of spirit, the above it, and the above it who have been with you. Listen to me. I am healing the wounds that slowed your progress. Some of those wounds are deep, hidden under a smile you put on for the world. I see the scar from that person who walked out on you when you needed them most. I see the bruise left by the words of a parent or a boss who told you that you would never amount to anything. I am touching those scars right now. Feel the coolness of my hand removing the sting. I am casting off the heavy garment of heaviness that you've been wearing like a lead vest. You weren't meant to carry the world on your shoulders. That's my job. I am declaring your final exit from the wilderness. You have wandered in circles, looking at the same dry sand and the same empty horizons for far too long. You've wondered if this was all life had for you, just survival. And oh, my child, I am opening the gate. I am calling you out of the desert and into a land where the grass is green and the water is sweet. Stop looking back at the sand. Stop longing for the safety of your prison. I am pulling you forward into a freedom you've only dared to dream about. You are no longer a prisoner of your history. You are the architect of your future, guided by my hand. The shackles are gone. Walk forward now. My child, you have been waiting for a very long time, and I know your heart is weary. You've looked at the clock and felt like time was running out, like the world was passing you by while you stayed behind. But I want you to understand how I move when the clock strikes grace. I am not a slow God. I am a God of suddenly. There is a rhythm to my movement that defies human logic. You think it will take years to fix your situation, but I can do in a heartbeat what would take a man a lifetime to achieve. I am preparing you for a suddenly moment that will leave you breathless and your enemy silenced. I want you to think about the moments in my word where everything changed in an instant. One moment there was a storm, the next there was a great calm. One moment there was a locked prison door, the next the chains fell off and the gates swung open. That same Holy Spirit swiftness is entering your life right now. I chose this specific hour for your breakthrough because I knew you were ready to handle the weight of the blessing. If I had given it to you sooner, you might have thought it was your own doing. But when I move suddenly, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was me. Watch closely, because I am making obstacles vanish in the blink of an eye. That mountain of paperwork, that legal battle that has dragged on for months, that person who is blocking your promotion, watch how I handle them. I don't need a sledgehammer to move a mountain. I just need a whisper. I am commanding the red tape to burn away. I am commanding the no to turn into a yes before you even finish your sentence. I am taking over the pace of your life. You have been running until you're exhausted, but now I am putting you on the currents of my divine speed. You will accomplish more in the next 3 months than you have in the last 3 years. I am compressing time for you. I am bringing the harvest and the planting season together. You won't have to wait for the fruit to grow. It will be ripe the moment you reach for it. I am inviting you to match my rhythm. Drop the frantic energy. Drop the hustle that leaves you empty. Instead, Lean into the swift, quiet power of my spirit. I am moving behind the scenes, setting up meetings you didn't schedule and opening doors you didn't know existed. When I say it is time, nothing in heaven or on earth can stop the momentum. Get ready, my child. Your suddenly is at the door. My precious one, I have seen every tear you've shed into your pillow when you thought no one was looking. I have kept a record of every year you felt was wasted taking care of someone who did appreciate you, or working a job that drained your soul. You feel like you've lost so much time you can never get back. But I am the God who steps outside of time. I am calculating the interest on everything the locusts ate in your life. I am not just giving you back what was taken. I am giving it back with a heavenly surcharge. I am returning the joy that was stolen by the enemy. You remember how it felt to laugh without a hidden worry in the back of your mind. I am bringing that back to you. I am filling your empty jars with new wine. Wine that is better than the old stuff you lost. I am looking at the seasons where you felt abandoned and overlooked, and I am vindicating your name right in the presence of those who mocked you. Those who whispered behind your back, saying you'd never make it, will have to sit at the table and watch as I honor you. I am not doing this to be spiteful, but to show the world that I am a faithful father to my children. I am decreeing a double portion for every bit of your trouble. For every day of shame, I am giving you 2 days of honor. For every dollar that was cheated from you, I am returning 2. This is the law of my kingdom. I am renewing your youth like the eagles. You feel old and tired, but I am infusing your physical body with a new energy. I am healing the cells in your brain that have been worn down by stress. I am smoothing the lines on your face that were carved by worry. When people see you, they will ask what your secret is, because you will radiate a life that defies your age. Stop mourning what is gone. Stop looking at the empty chair or the empty bank account. I am the God of resurrection. I can bring life back to a dead dream. I can bring a relationship back from the grave. I am taking the broken pieces of your lost years and I am weaving them into a masterpiece of experience and wisdom. Nothing was wasted. Every pain was a seed, and now the harvest is coming in. I am commanding the ground to give up what it owes you. I am calling your blessings home. Receive my restoration today. It is full, it is complete, and it is yours. My child, I am tired of seeing you live in the land of barely enough. You were not created to be a beggar. You were created to be a ruler. I am personally reaching out my hand and unlocking the storehouses of heaven's wealth over your life. I am not just talking about a little bit of help to pay the rent. I am talking about an overflow that leaves no room for lack. I am commanding resources to start arriving from unexpected directions. You've been looking at your paycheck, but I am looking at the cattle on 1,000 hills. I am opening up streams in the wasteland of your finances. I am blessing the work of your hands with a fruitfulness that doesn't make sense on paper. You will plant a small seed, and it will grow into a forest. I am giving you strategic connections, people who have the power to help you, who will suddenly have your name on their hearts. They won't even know why they want to help you, but they will feel a divine urge to open a door for you. I am the one who orchestrates these chance meetings. I am putting you in the right room at the right time with the right words in your mouth. I am breaking the cycle of poverty that has plagued your family for generations. I am erasing the poverty mindset that tells you to be afraid of success or to hoard what you have because it might run out. I am an infinite source. When you realize that I am your provider, you can live with an open hand. I am commanding a financial breakthrough that will allow you to not only pay your bills, but to be a blessing to others. I want you to be the one who can write the check for someone else's miracle. Do you hear the sound of the gates swinging open? It is a heavy, golden sound. I am inviting you to enlarge your vision. Stop asking me for crumbs when I own the bakery. Stop asking for a cup of water when I am the ocean. I am challenging you to dream bigger, because my abundance is tied to my glory. I want to show the world what happens when a child of God walks in favor. I am pouring out a blessing that you would have room enough to receive. Trust me with your needs, trust me with your business, and trust me with your future. The drought is over. The rain of abundance is falling now. My child, do not turn away now. It deeply grieves my heart when you come this close to the fire only to walk back into the cold. I am actively operating on your soul, and if you stop listening here, you walk away from the very healing I have prepared for your deepest, unspoken wounds. Stay with me. Give me your full, undivided attention. To leave this conversation now is to leave the table before the main feast is served. Listen closely, because what I am about to speak next is the absolute key to your survival. My beloved, I want you to feel my touch upon your flesh. I am the great physician, and I am not far away in some distant heaven. I am right here, closer than your very breath. I am mending the broken pieces of your tired heart. You've been carrying so much emotional trauma, so much hidden pain that you've pushed down deep just so you could get through the day. I am bringing it to the surface, not to hurt you, but to wash it away. I am entering your mental and emotional state, and I am speaking a word of wholeness. I am commanding the removal of chronic pain and infirmity. I see the way you struggle to get out of bed in the morning. I see the way that one part of your body has been aching for years, and you've just accepted it as your normal. I am telling you today, that is not my normal for you. I am sending my healing virtue through your nervous system, through your joints, and through your blood. I am strengthening your bones for the journey ahead. You have a lot of life left to live, and I am giving you the physical vitality to enjoy it. I am giving you a peace that surpasses all human understanding. This isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of a deep, unshakable quietness in your soul. Even if the world outside is screaming, your heart will be like a still lake. I am removing the fog of depression and the sharp edges of anxiety. I am replacing them with a sound mind. You will be able to think clearly, to sleep deeply, and to wake up with a sense of purpose. I invite you to surrender your sickness to me. Stop identifying with your diagnosis. Stop saying my cancer or my arthritis. It is not yours. It is an intruder, and I am evicting it. I am the God who heals all your diseases. I am the God who restores your soul. Take a moment right now and just let my healing light soak into you. Feel the tension leaving your neck. Feel the pressure leaving your chest. You are being made whole, from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. I love you too much to leave you in pain. Receive your healing now. It is my gift to you. My child, I want you to mentally hand over every piece of paper, every email, and every spoken word that has handed you a defeat. You have been carrying the heavy weight of a no for far too long. I see the rejection letter from the job you desperately needed. I know about the medical report that made your stomach drop and brought tears to your eyes. I see the financial statement that told you there is no way out of this hole. You have let the systems of this world act as the final judge over your life. But I am telling you today that their jurisdiction ends right here. I am stepping into the courtroom of your life, and I am the supreme judge. I am overturning the reports of the world with a single strike of my gavel. I am silencing the accuser who stands in the corners of your mind, the one who constantly whispers that you are guilty, disqualified, and out of luck. You have listened to that dark whisper until it sounded like the truth. Stop believing the lie. I am declaring you innocent, worthy, and highly favored. I am taking every single no that was spoken over your destiny and I am transforming it into a divine yes. You do not need the approval of a bank, a boss, or a critic when you have the decree of the Creator of the universe. When I open a door, no man, no institution, and no worldly power can shut it. I am erasing the deep scars of your legal, financial, and worldly battles. I know you feel bruised by the system. You feel like you have been fighting an uphill battle against giants who do not care about your family or your future. But I care. I care deeply, and I am stepping in to fight for you. I am ruling in your favor starting today. Watch how the people who once blocked your path suddenly step aside. Watch how the policies and the rules suddenly bend to accommodate my purpose for you. This is not a coincidence. This is my hand actively moving on your behalf to clear your road. Your destiny is not written by the economy, and it is not written by your past mistakes. Your destiny is rewritten by the finger of God. I am drafting a new chapter for you right now, and the theme of this chapter is total victory. I invite you to change your posture. Stop walking into rooms expecting to be rejected. Stop opening your mail with a knot of anxiety in your stomach. I command you to hold your head high, knowing that the verdict has already been decided in heaven. The case is closed. You have won. I have spoken it, and it is done. Walk out of that courtroom and step into your freedom. My beloved, I see you standing at the crossroads of your life, feeling paralyzed by the pressure of making the wrong choice. You look to your left and see people who seem to have it all figured out, and you look to your right and see doors that have firmly closed. You ask yourself, am I too late? Have I missed my calling? I am here to tell you that you are right on time. I am positioning you in the exact center of my will. The confusion you feel is not from me. The heavy burden of trying to figure out the next 10 years of your life is not a weight I asked you to carry. I am simply asking you to let me guide your next step. I am giving you crystal clear vision for your next 7 steps. You do not need to see the entire staircase. You only need to trust the Father who is holding your hand. I am removing the daily distractions that have hindered your calling. I see how you numb your exhaustion by scrolling on your phone, filling your mind with the noise of other people's lives because your own feels too overwhelming. I am gently taking those distractions away. I am clearing the fog from your brain so you can hear my voice. I am calling you back to the center, back to the quiet place where your true purpose is born. I am igniting the fire of your spiritual gifts that you have let go cold. You used to dream of writing that book, starting that business, or leading that ministry, but the practical pressures of paying bills and surviving the day pushed those dreams into a dusty box. I am opening that box today. I am blowing on the embers of your calling. You have a specific assignment on this earth that no one else can fulfill. I created you with a unique voice, a unique set of skills, and a unique capacity to love. I am calling you to use them now. I am commanding you to walk in the authority I have granted you. You are not an imposter. You are not underqualified for the dream I placed in your heart. When you speak, speak with the confidence of a king or queen who knows their father owns the land. I am bringing you into the perfect timing of your ultimate assignment. All the random jobs, all the painful detours, and all the confusing seasons were just training ground for what you are about to step into. Put down your doubt. Pick up your mantle. I am aligning your steps with heaven's rhythm, and you are about to walk in the purpose you were born for. My child, I know the invisible fears that keep you awake when the rest of the house is sleeping. I know how you worry about your children when they walk out the front door. I know the anxiety you feel about your health, your job security, and the rising chaos in the world around you. You feel exposed, like a small ship caught in a massive, dark ocean storm. I am speaking to those fears right now. I am placing a thick, impenetrable hedge of fire around your family, your home, and your mind. You are not left defenseless to the whims of a broken world. You are fiercely guarded by the Almighty God. I am hiding you under the shadow of my wings. Think of a mother bird covering her young when a predator circles above. That is how I am covering you. The storms may rage outside, the economy may shake, and the news may broadcast panic. But inside the shadow of my wings, there is only perfect warmth and absolute safety. I am causing complete confusion in the camp of your enemies. The people who scheme against you in the office, the individuals who gossip about your name, and the spiritual forces that try to tear down your peace, they will be scattered. When they try to set a trap for you, they will fall into it themselves. I declare over your life today that no weapon formed against you shall ever prosper. Notice that I did not say the weapons would not be formed. Challenges will come, and people will try to bring you down, but the weapon will jam. The arrow will snap in midair. The malicious plot will fall apart before it ever reaches your doorstep. I have stationed mighty angelic guards at the four corners of your home. They are watching over your children at school. They are watching over your vehicle on the highway. They are standing at the foot of your bed while you sleep. I command you to release your grip on fear. Stop trying to control every possible outcome. You cannot protect yourself through sheer worry. Worry is just a thief that steals your present joy. I am taking over the night watch. I am ensuring your safety in your coming and in your going. From the moment you wake up to the moment your head hits the pillow, you are under my divine surveillance. Breathe a deep sigh of relief. Let your muscles relax. You do not have to live on high alert anymore. You are safe. You are secure. You are mine, and nobody can snatch you out of my hand. My precious one, let us talk about the ache in your heart that comes from broken relationships. I see the empty seat at your dinner table. I know the pain of the phone calls that go to voicemail, the text messages that are left unread, and the awkward, heavy silence that fills the room when you are with certain family members. You feel like the bridge has been burned to ashes and the river between you is too wide to cross. But I am the God of reconciliation. I am moving right now to soften hearts that have been hardened like stone by years of pride, misunderstanding, and deep hurt. I am stepping into the middle of families torn apart by silly strife and bitter arguments. I see the spouse who feels like a stranger. I see the child who has walked away from your values. I am actively working on their hearts even when you cannot see it. I am bringing the prodigals back to the table. They will come back not out of obligation, but because they suddenly remember the warmth of the home and the love they left behind. I am putting a desire for peace into the minds of those who have fought against you. Prepare your heart to forgive, because the apologies you thought you would never hear are coming your way. I am also doing a vital surgery in your social circle. I am replacing toxic bonds with true, covenant friendships. You have held on to certain people out of loyalty or loneliness, even though they constantly drain your energy and pull you away from my presence. I am gently cutting those unhealthy ties. I am protecting you from people who only want to use you. In their place, I am sending you people who will pray for you, people who will celebrate your victories, and people who will hold your arms up when you are too tired to stand. You will not walk this next chapter alone. I command a spirit of unity to return to your household. The atmosphere of bickering, tension, and walking on eggshells is leaving your home right now. I am filling your living room with laughter again. I am filling your kitchen with deep, meaningful conversations. I am restoring the blessing of love, and I am magnifying it so that it spills over into your neighborhood and your community. Open your arms wide. Let go of the grudges that you have been hugging so tightly. I am Elior, and I am Elior. The season of isolation is completely over. Just as I am restoring your home and bringing your prodigals back to the table, I am calling you to help set a table for others who are still starving in isolation. I have placed a deep desire in your heart to see this message of turnaround reach the broken, and now I am inviting you to partner directly with my hand to make it happen. Every seed you plant today becomes a divine rescue mission, carrying this exact word of hope to a soul on the verge of giving up. When you sow into this ministry, you are throwing a lifeline of living water to those drowning in the violent, stormy seas of despair. For I tell you now, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. Do not delay, for there is a critical window of grace open in this very hour, and the world is desperate for the light you can help provide. As you support this work, I decree that your own relationships will experience an accelerated, miraculous restoration, and your household will overflow with my unmerited favor. Step into this divine partnership right now by sending a super thanks, becoming a member, or giving through the PayPal link in the description. Are you still listening, my beloved? Do not silence my voice right now. It shatters your Father's heart when you beg for a miracle in the midnight hour, but refuse to sit through my complete instruction when I finally answer. To walk away from this encounter now would be to abandon the battlefield right before the enemy officially surrenders. Lean in closer. Do not disappoint the spirit that is vigorously fighting for you. Honor my presence. The supernatural strength you desperately need for your final stretch is hidden in these next words. Stay with me. My beloved, I know you are bone-tired. I see the heavy droop of your shoulders and the dark circles under your eyes. You have fought a good fight, but you are looking at the road ahead and thinking, I just don't have enough gas in the tank to finish this. You have been strong for everybody else. You have been the rock for your family, the problem solver at your job, and the one who always smiles and says, I'm fine. But right now, you want to throw in the towel. I am speaking directly into your exhaustion. I am pouring supernatural endurance into your spirit to help you finish this race. I am giving you grace that is entirely sufficient for your weakness. The world tells you to push harder and grind it out, but I am telling you to lean on me. When you are at the end of your own human ability, that is exactly where my miraculous power takes over. My power is made absolutely perfect in your moments of deepest exhaustion. You do not have to conjure up false energy. You do not have to fake it. Just give me your weakness. I am infusing your tired muscles with divine strength. I am pouring the fresh oil of gladness over your heavy head to keep your lamp burning bright through the midnight hour. I am lifting you up to rise above the storm on currents of faith. You have been trying to paddle against massive waves, fighting the current until your arms ache. I am telling you to stop paddling and start trusting. I am changing the direction of the wind to blow at your back. I am giving you divine grit to claim exactly what I have promised you. The enemy wants you to quit right before the finish line because he knows the reward is just one step away. Do not give him the satisfaction. You have come too far to walk away empty-handed. I command you to take one more step. Just one. You do not have to run a marathon today. Just put one foot in front of the other. Drink from my well, for my water will refresh your soul. Eat from my table, for my bread will sustain your mind. You are a warrior, and a warrior does not quit when the battle gets hard. A warrior leans on the commander. I am with you. I am breathing second wind into your lungs right now. Stand up tall. Square your shoulders. The final stretch is here, and I promise you, the victory line is closer than you think. Keep going, my child. Keep going, my child. I know exactly what it feels like inside your head right now. I see the thick, heavy fog of confusion that rolls in the moment you open your eyes in the morning. You wake up and your mind immediately starts racing with 100 different questions. You ask yourself, am I making the right choice? What if I ruin my future? How do I fix this mess? You feel like you are walking through a dark room with your hands out, terrified of bumping into another mistake. I am stepping into the dark room with you today. I am tearing down the veil of confusion that has kept you second-guessing every single decision. I am the light of the world, and I am piercing through the fog in your mind right this very second. Stop overthinking your life. Stop replaying the same anxious scenarios in your head over and over until you feel sick to your stomach. I am commanding the noise to cease. You have been listening to the loud, panicky voices of the world, the confusing advice of people who do not know my plan for you, and the whispering lies of the enemy. I am turning the volume down on all of it. I am giving you a deep, spiritual discernment to see the hidden traps the enemy has set for you. You will no longer walk blindly into toxic relationships or dead-end situations. I am opening your spiritual eyes so you can see the road ahead with absolute clarity. I am completely replacing your spirit of fear with a sound mind. You have thought that your anxiety was just a part of your personality, but it is not. It is an intruder, and I am throwing it out of your house. I am giving you the ability to hear my quiet whisper above the chaotic roar of your daily life. When you are sitting at your desk, overwhelmed by the pressure at your job, you will hear my voice saying, "Turn this way." When you are dealing with unspoken tensions in your family and you do not know what to say, I will drop the perfect words right into your spirit. You will not have to guess anymore. I am your guide, and I never get lost. Listen to my instruction today. Put down your desperate need to figure everything out by yourself. You are trying to do my job, and it is exhausting you. I am giving you a wisdom that completely confounds the smart people of this world. People will look at your life and wonder how you navigate difficult times with such peace and grace. They will ask you for your secret. Your secret is that you have stopped relying on your own limited understanding and started leaning entirely on me. I am handing you the blueprint for your life. Look at the path I have paved for you. It is not hidden, and I am not trying to trick you or make it hard to find. I want you to succeed even more than you want to succeed. I am revealing your next steps one by one. Take a deep breath right now. Let the oxygen fill your lungs, and let my peace settle your racing thoughts. The confusion is lifting. The mental exhaustion is fading. You are stepping out of the fog and into the brilliant, warm light of my truth. Walk forward with confidence, my child. I am shining the light, and your path is entirely secure. My beloved, let us talk about the dry season you have been walking through. I know how deeply it hurts. You have felt like a forgotten seed buried in hard, parched dirt. You look at the years you have spent working a job that drains your soul, investing in people who never return the effort, and praying prayers that seem to bounce right off the ceiling. You have looked at your life and thought, this is a wasteland. Nothing good can ever grow here. I am telling you today that you have completely misunderstood your season. You thought you were buried, but I am telling you that you were planted. I am the God of the wilderness, and I am bringing radical fruitfulness to your desert right now. I am commanding water to spring up in the most parched places of your life. You have been thirsty for love, thirsty for recognition, and thirsty for a simple break from the constant struggle. I am opening up rivers in your wasteland. I am causing life to bloom in the exact spots where others looked at you and pronounced your dreams dead. People wrote you off. They thought your best days were behind you. But I am stepping into your dry circumstances and I am breathing resurrection power into them. Watch as green shoots of hope begin to break through the hard soil of your reality. Watch as the things you thought were over begin to breathe again. I want you to see that the harsh lessons you learned in the dry places are now becoming your greatest strength. The loneliness you endured taught you how to depend only on my voice. The financial lack you survived taught you how to trust me as your true provider. The tears you cried in secret watered the ground of your character. I am telling you that not a single drop of your pain was wasted. You have been sowing seeds in tears for years, feeling like you were just throwing your effort into the wind. But the harvest time has finally arrived. I am commanding you to wipe your eyes and grab your sickle. Reap your harvest with shouts of joy. I am performing the miracle of explosive growth in what you called an impossible season. You are going to see results that make absolutely no sense based on your resources. You will find favor where you used to find closed doors. You will find sweet covenant friendships where you used to find betrayal. I am turning your entire desert into a lush garden, not just for you to enjoy, but so you can feed others. You are going to look back at this barren season and realize it was the exact place where I built your spiritual muscles. Testify to the world that I am the God who brings life out of nothing. When people ask how you survived the drought, you tell them that your Father sent the rain. Stop complaining about the heat of the desert and start preparing for the flood of my blessing. I am washing away the dust of your disappointment. I am saturating your life with my goodness. You are no longer a victim of a dry season. You are a tree planted by rivers of living water. Your leaves will not wither, and whatever you touch from this moment forward is going to prosper. My precious one, I am calling you to step up. You have stayed on the lower levels of your potential for far too long because it felt safe and familiar. You have let feelings of inadequacy, imposter syndrome, and the fear of being judged keep you playing small. You look at the calling I have placed on your life, and you say, I am not qualified for this. I am not smart enough, I am not eloquent enough, I am not strong enough. I am stopping those excuses right now. I am the one who called you, and I am the one who qualifies you. I am pouring the fresh oil of my Spirit out upon your head, and I am anointing you for a completely new level of influence and power. Bow your head right now and receive this new mantle. A new season requires a new covering, and I am wrapping you in a garment of absolute authority. You are not going to operate in your own tired human strength anymore. I see the pressure you feel at your job, trying to prove your worth to people who overlook you. I see the heavy burden of trying to hold your family together with your bare hands. Drop that burden. I am giving you an increased hyper-awareness of my Holy Spirit. You will no longer have to force things to happen. You will simply flow with my power. I am putting a holy boldness inside your chest. The days of you shrinking back and staying quiet when you know you have the answer are over. The days of letting people talk down to you are finished. I am giving you the courage to speak the exact words I place in your mouth. When you open your mouth in that meeting, people will listen. When you speak peace into your chaotic household, the atmosphere will shift instantly. This is not arrogance. This is the quiet, undeniable confidence of a son or daughter who knows the King is backing them up. I am granting you the power to witness and demonstrate my love in practical, undeniable ways. You are going to be a walking miracle to the people around you. When you pray for the sick, they will recover. When you encourage the broken-hearted, their spirits will lift. I'm causing the very fragrance of my presence to follow you wherever you go. People will be drawn to you, and they will not even understand why. They will just know that there is something different, something peaceful, and something powerful about you. Step into the room like you belong there, because you do. Stop asking for permission to be who I created you to be. I am giving you the keys to rooms you used to only look at through the window. Do not shrink back when the promotion comes. Do not run away when the big opportunity is handed to you. I have prepared you for this very moment. The fresh oil is running down your face, your hands are blessed, and your mind is sharp. You are anointed for this breakthrough. Walk in it with your head held high, my beautiful child. My child, I see how the world around you is shaking violently. You turn on the news, and it is a constant flood of panic, economic doom, and hatred. You look at your own life and you see relationships shifting, prices rising, and the things you used to rely on suddenly feeling very fragile. It feels like the ground beneath your feet is made of sand, and you are terrified of sinking. I am speaking directly to that deep, twisting fear in your stomach. I am your rock of ages. I am calling you to take your life, your family, and your future off the shifting sands of this world and build your house entirely upon me. I am demanding your unshakable trust in my unchanging character. People will let you down. Companies will lay you off. The systems of this earth will always fail because they are broken. But I have never failed, and I am not going to start failing with you. I want you to have the absolute assurance that what I started in your life, I will finish completely. I did not bring you this far just to leave you drowning in the middle of the ocean. I did not save you just to let you be destroyed by a temporary storm. I'm a finisher. Plant your feet firmly on my promises. I am commanding you to stand incredibly tall while the world around you shakes in fear. When your coworkers are panicking about the future, you will have a quiet smile on your face because you know who holds your paycheck. When the doctors give a grim report, you will not lose your mind because you know the great physician has the final say. I am teaching you to refuse to be moved by what you see with your physical, earthly eyes. Your eyes will lie to you. Your circumstances will scream that you are defeated. Do not listen to them. Listen to my word, which stands forever. Rest in the profound knowledge that I am in absolute control. I know it feels chaotic to you, but there is no panic in heaven. I am not pacing back and forth on my throne wondering how to fix your problems. I have already mapped out your deliverance. Stop trying to micromanage your life. You are gripping the steering wheel so tightly that your knuckles are white, terrified of crashing. Let go. I am the driver. I know the way through the dark valley, and I know the way to the mountaintop. I invite you to enter into my deep, immovable peace today. Let the storm rage outside your window. Let the winds blow and the rain batter the roof. You are safe inside the house built on the rock. You do not have to defend yourself. You do not have to live in a state of constant, exhausting hypervigilance. You are protected by the Maker of the universe. Lean back into my arms. Take a deep breath. Let the tension drain from your shoulders. You are entirely secure, and your foundation will never, ever crack. My precious one, do not let your mind wander and do not shut this down. It brings a heavy sorrow to my spirit when my children settle for only half a breakthrough because they lack the spiritual endurance to hear the whole truth. You asked me for a complete and total shift, so stay with me until the work is completely finished. To walk away now is to willingly hand your supreme favor back to the world. Anchor your soul, respect the magnitude of this moment, and hear what I am about to release over the giant obstacles in your life. My beloved, I want to talk to you about the invisible barriers you have been slamming into. You know exactly what I mean. You have been sending out resumes that seem to vanish into thin air. You have been working twice as hard as everyone else, only to watch someone less qualified get the promotion. You feel overlooked, invisible, and deeply frustrated, as if you are standing outside a locked building while everyone else is inside enjoying the banquet. I am telling you today to stop kicking the door. You do not need to fight for a seat at their table anymore. I am giving you a level of divine favor that no human door can ever shut. I am granting you immediate access to rooms you never even knocked on. You have been exhausting yourself trying to network, trying to say the right things to the right people, and trying to force your way into opportunity. I am ending your struggle right now. I have placed the distinct mark of my blessing heavily upon your life, and it is becoming visible to everyone around you. I am actively causing preference for you in the eyes of those in authority. The boss who never noticed you is suddenly going to see your value. The client who was ignoring your calls is going to reach out to you. I am doing this so you will know that your exaltation comes from me alone, not from your own hustle. I do not want you owing your success to a man or a system. I want you to know that the God of heaven personally lifted you up. I am commanding incredible opportunities to literally chase you down and overtake you. You are not going to have to hunt for a blessing. The blessing already has your address, and it is knocking on your front door. I am aligning the hearts of decision makers to favor your name. When they review applications, yours will blow. When they think of who to bless, your face will pop into their minds. Walk right through the walls that used to stop you dead in your tracks. The red tape, the lack of a perfect degree, the mistakes in your past, none of these things can stop the favor I am pouring on you today. I am overriding the rules of the world to accommodate your destiny. You thought you were at a disadvantage because you didn't have the right connections or the right background. I am your connection. I own the company. I own the land. And I hold the hearts of kings in my hand like water. I command you to step out of the shadows. Stop hiding your talents because you are afraid of being rejected again. Put your work out there, like the phone call. Start the project. I have already gone ahead of you and coated the entire path with my favor. You are moving from the back of the line directly to the front. Do not apologize for the blessing I am giving you. Wear it humbly, but wear it confidently. You are my highly favored child, and the entire world is about to see how I treat those who belong to me. Get ready to walk through open doors. My child, I see the massive, intimidating giants standing right in the middle of your path. You know exactly what I am talking about. I see the giant of medical debt that seems impossible to pay off. I see the giant of a chronic illness that constantly threatens your joy. I see the giant of a broken legal situation or a family conflict that looks like a massive, unmovable wall. You have been looking up at these obstacles, feeling small, weak, and completely outmatched. I am here to tell you to stop trembling. I'm handing you the single stone you need to bring your Goliath crashing to the dirt. I am your defender, and I am stepping onto the battlefield right beside you. Look closely at the mountains in your life. You have walked around them, you have cried at the base of them, and you have wondered if you would ever get to the other side. I am giving you the authority to speak to that mountain today. I command you to open your mouth and tell that obstacle to move. You do not have to climb over it, and you do not have to dig under it. When you speak my words with absolute faith, I will cause that mountain of debt, that mountain of depression, and that mountain of fear to be thrown straight into the sea. Watch how fast I can clear your road when you finally trust my power over your problem. I am bringing down the walls of Jericho in your life. You have felt like you were locked out of your own promised land, staring at thick walls of rejection and delay. I invite you to raise a shout of praise right now, right in the middle of your living room. Praise me before you see the evidence. Praise me while the wall is still standing. Your praise is the very weapon that will cause those thick walls to crumble into dust. The barriers that have held you back for a decade are going to fall flat, and you are going to walk straight forward into your victory. I am making a public spectacle of the things that tried to defeat you. Remember the Red Sea? Your ancestors felt trapped with the water in front of them and the enemy rushing up behind them. You feel that exact same panic right now. You feel like your options have run out and there is nowhere left to run. I command you to stand still and watch my salvation. I am parting the deep, dark waters of your current crisis just as your feet touch the shore. I am making a dry path through a situation that was meant to drown you. You are going to experience total victory in the exact same place where you previously experienced a humiliating defeat. I am doing something even greater. I am turning the giants that tried to eat you into bread for your journey. The very trial that was meant to destroy your faith is going to become the fuel for your greatest testimony. You are going to draw strength from the battle you just survived. I want you to square your shoulders right now. Look that giant directly in the eye and declare that his time is up. You are a giant slayer because you carry my spirit inside you. Stand your ground, lift your head, and watch your obstacles fall one by one. My beloved, I feel the frantic beating of your heart. I see how the sudden violent storms of life have caught you off guard. You got that phone call that changed everything. You received that unexpected bill. You heard the rumor at work that layoffs are coming, and suddenly the wind is howling and the waves are crashing over the side of your small boat. You are running around trying to bail out the water, exhausting yourself in a panic, crying out, "Don't you care that I am drowning?" I am speaking to you right out of the whirlwind. I care more than you can possibly comprehend, and I am offering you a supernatural peace that makes no logical sense. I invite you to come and sleep in the back of the boat with me. You think you need to stay awake to manage the crisis, but your worry is not keeping the boat afloat. I'm keeping the boat afloat. I am giving you the deep, internal quietness that no bad news can disturb. When the world expects you to fall apart, you are going to experience an anchor holding your soul incredibly fast to the ocean floor. The storm may rage, the thunder may clap, but your mind is going to remain perfectly still. I am the Lord of the storm, and the elements still recognize the sound of my voice. I am giving you the authority to silence the winds with your own word of faith. Stop agreeing with the storm. Stop repeating how bad the situation is, how awful the economy is, and how terrible your luck has been. I command you to speak peace into your own household. Speak peace over your bank account. Speak peace over your troubled child. When you say, "Peace, be still," you are not speaking empty words, you are releasing my heavenly atmosphere into your earthly chaos. The calm that follows will be so profound that the people around you will marvel at your strength. Focus your eyes entirely on my face above the rising tide. The reason you are sinking is that you are staring at the waves. You are obsessed with the problem instead of the problem solver. I command you to lift your gaze right now. Look at me. I am walking on top of the very water that is trying to pull you under. What threatens to destroy you is firmly under my feet. Take a deep breath of my spirit right now. Let the oxygen of heaven fill your tight, anxious chest. Let your clenched fist slowly open. You do not have to fight the storm today. You only have to trust the captain. I am wrapping a thick, warm blanket of comfort around your mind. I am slowing down your racing thoughts. You are going to sleep soundly tonight, not because the storm is gone, but because you know I am in control of it. You are safe. The boat is not going to sink, and you are going to reach the other side. Rest in my arms, my child. The command has been given. Peace, be still. My precious one, I know you have hit a wall. You are sitting at your desk, or lying in bed staring at the ceiling, feeling completely stuck. You need a way to increase your income, You need a way to fix a broken process at your job, or you need a fresh direction for your business. But your mind feels entirely empty. You feel like you have exhausted every human option, and there is nothing left to try. I'm stepping into that empty space right now. I am the creator of the universe, and I am releasing a flood of new, brilliant creative ideas directly into your mind. I am downloading heavenly blueprints for your success. I am handing you the exact solutions to problems that your family and your bosses thought were entirely unsolvable. You have been trying to figure this out using only your natural intellect, but I am activating the mind of Christ that lives inside you. I am going to give you a single thought, a passing idea, or a sudden spark of inspiration that will change the entire trajectory of your finances. One divine idea from my throne is worth more than 10 years of your exhausting, hard labor. I invite you to grab a pen and paper. Start writing down the things I whisper to you in the quiet hours of the morning. I am birthing pure innovation from my heart straight into your hands. I am giving you witty inventions, fresh strategies, and unique concepts that no one else in your field has even considered. You are going to see connections that others miss. When your coworkers are confused, you will have profound clarity. When your industry is struggling, you will find a hidden pathway to profit and growth. This is not because you are suddenly smarter. It is because I am giving you an unfair advantage. I am lighting up the creative centers of your brain with my Holy Spirit. I am giving you dreams and visions that will direct your future steps. Pay attention to the ideas that wake you up in the middle of the night. Do not dismiss them as random thoughts. They are the seeds of your next major breakthrough. I command you to stop believing the lie that you are not creative, that you are not an entrepreneur, or that you are not smart enough to lead. I put my own nature inside you when I formed you. You are designed to build, to invent, and to solve. I am removing the creative block that has frustrated you for months. Step out and execute the vision I am giving you. Do not let fear talk you out of the brilliant idea I just planted in your spirit. The world is waiting for the solution that you are carrying. I am going to bless the work of your hands, but you have to be willing to stretch your faith and try the new thing. Open your mind to me right now. Ask me for the strategy. Ask me for the blueprint. I am pouring out a heavy rain of inspiration upon you. Catch it, build it, and watch how I prosper it. My child, I want to take you back to the foundation of who you are and whose you are. You have been living like a spiritual orphan, hoping to scrape by on the leftovers of life, begging for a little bit of favor here and a little bit of money there. I am stopping this mentality today. I am renewing the eternal covenant of blessing over your life. I want you to remember the unbreakable promises I made to your ancestors, the promises recorded in my word. Those promises were not just stories for history books. They are legal, binding contracts that belong to you right now. I am enforcing my contract in your life today. I want you to understand the power of the blood of the Lamb. The world speaks failure over you. Your bank account speaks poverty over you. And your past speaks guilt over you. But the blood of my Son speaks better things. It speaks total redemption. It speaks absolute healing. It speaks unmerited favor. I command you to start walking in the absolute fullness of your inheritance. You are a child of the King, and it is highly inappropriate for you to live in the slums of despair. I am handing you the keys to the storehouse. What is mine is yours. I am placing the heavy, undeniable seal of my Holy Spirit upon your life's work. This means that everything you touch is marked by heaven. When you apply for that house, the seal of my blessing is on the application. When you pray for your children, the seal of my protection covers them. I have written your specific name in the very palm of my hand. You are never forgotten. You are never overlooked, and you are never pushed to the back of the line in my kingdom. I am fiercely committed to your success, your joy, and your ultimate prosperity. I am not just blessing you for today. I am building a lasting legacy for the generations that will come after you. Your children, and your children's children, will eat from the fruit of the obedience you are walking in right now. You are breaking the generational curses of poverty, addiction, and divorce, and you are establishing a brand new bloodline of blessing. I command you to look at your hands. These are the hands that will pass down wealth, wisdom, and profound faith to your family. You are the turning point for your entire lineage. Claim your inheritance today. Stop acting like you have to beg me to be good to you. I am already good, and I have already signed the covenant with my own blood. I invite you to step into a posture of bold, confident receiving. Wake up every morning and declare, I am a covenant child of God, and the blessing of Abraham belongs to my house. I am honoring that faith. I am pouring out the oil of gladness over your head. The contract is sealed, the promise is secure, and your future is undeniably blessed. As I activate this eternal covenant of blessing and permanently break the cycle of lack over your bloodline, I am asking you to release a seed that will shatter poverty in the lives of others. I have given you the power to create wealth not just for your own comfort, but so you can join me in funding the fierce advancement of my kingdom on earth. Your generosity today fuels the global spread of my voice, rescuing lost and wandering generations from the heavy, suffocating chains of darkness. By giving, you are pouring fresh oil onto a blazing fire that is actively burning away the enemy's lies across the nations. Hear my sworn promise to you. I, the God who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food, will also supply and exponentially multiply your store of seed to enlarge the harvest of your righteousness. This is your appointed moment to step out of the spectator's seat and become a vital catalyst for the miraculous turnaround I am executing on the earth right now. I declare that every dollar you release will return to your storehouse multiplied 100-fold, securing a legacy of supernatural abundance for your children's children. Honor this covenant today and obey my voice by offering your support through a super thanks, joining as a member, or sowing directly via the PayPal link in the description below. Do not close your ears, my child. We are standing at the very threshold of your promised land. It grieves me deeply when you march through the wilderness only to stop at the border instead of crossing over into your abundance. To tune me out right now would be a tragedy. You would be walking away from the ultimate harvest I have painstakingly grown for you. Give me your absolute reverence. Give me these final moments. What I am about to declare over your life is the permanent seal of your victory. Do not miss your inheritance. My beloved, I need you to lift your eyes up from the dirt. You have been walking with your head down, staring closely at the mud, the weeds, and the daily frustrations of your life. You are entirely consumed by the argument you had this morning, the slight ache in your back, and the annoying email you just received. You are living in the microscopic details of your stress, and it is draining the life out of your soul. I am stepping in to physically lift your chin. I am commanding you to shift your perspective and see your life entirely through the clear, wide lens of eternity. I am giving you heaven's view today. I want you to recognize that your current, heavy affliction is but for a brief moment. I know the pain feels like it has lasted for a century. I know the waiting room feels like a permanent prison. But when you look at it from my throne room, this trial is just a fleeting shadow passing over the great, bright landscape of your eternal life. I am teaching you how to live from a place of secured victory, not constantly striving for victory. The battle has already been won at the cross. You do not have to fight for your identity or your worth. You simply have to rest in what I have already accomplished. I am giving you understanding regarding the why behind your long wait. You have asked me 1,000 times why I didn't answer your prayer exactly when you wanted me to. I am telling you now that the delay was actually your protection. If I had given you the blessing before your character was ready to hold it, the blessing would have crushed you. I was using the weight to build your spiritual muscles, to deepen your roots, and to teach you how to trust my heart even when you could not see my hand. The waiting was never a punishment, it was a profound, loving preparation. I invite you to gaze directly at my glory until your entire mindset is transformed. Stop staring at the news. Stop staring at your bank app. Stare at my promises. When you fix your eyes on my majesty, the giant problems in your life suddenly shrink down to their proper, tiny size. I am causing the deep joy of the Lord to become your daily, physical strength. You will laugh again, not because your circumstances are perfect, but because your God is perfect and your soul is secure. Change your lens right now. I command you to stop zooming in on the negative and start panning out to see the magnificent picture I am painting with your life. Every dark color and every bright color is working together to create a masterpiece of grace. Breathe in the crisp, clean air of heaven's perspective. The fog is clearing. The anxiety is melting away. You are seeing your life exactly the way I see it. Beautiful, purposeful, and heading directly toward a glorious finish line. Keep your eyes on me, my child. We are almost there. My child, I want you to look back at the fields of your life where you have faithfully planted seeds. I know exactly how tired your hands are. You have sown seeds of love into people who never said thank you. You have sown seeds of hard work into a job that barely recognized your name. You have sown desperate, tear-soaked prayers in the middle of the night for your family, your health, and your future. You looked at the dirt for months, even years, and saw absolutely nothing growing. You concluded that the soil was dead and your effort was completely wasted. I am speaking to you right now to tell you that you were wrong. I am the Lord of the harvest, and I am commanding every single seed you have ever planted to come to full maturity right now. I have not forgotten a single prayer you whispered. Every small act of obedience you performed when no one was watching was carefully recorded in my presence. You thought it did not matter when you chose to be kind to someone who was cruel to you. You thought it went unnoticed when you gave your last few dollars to someone who needed it more than you did. I saw it all. I am now multiplying those small acts of obedience and turning them into a massive, overwhelming harvest. I am opening the windows of heaven to pour out a return that defies all human mathematics. You are about to experience the absolute miracle of the 100-fold return. I am bringing you to a place where you will reap from fields you did not even plant. I am handing you the keys to vineyards you did not have to labor over. People will ask you how you achieved such incredible success so quickly, and you will have to tell them the truth. You did not do it on your own. My hand is actively orchestrating a joyful gathering of the fruits of your labor. I am filling your storehouse to its maximum capacity. When you look at your bank account, your family relationships, and your physical health, you will see the undeniable evidence of a God who pays back his children with generous interest. I invite you to grab your basket and walk into the field. Stop crying over the years you spent waiting. The waiting is over. I command you to wipe your tears and prepare for the heavy weight of the harvest. Do not be intimidated by how big the blessing is. You have suffered faithfully, and now you are going to rejoice powerfully. I am turning your season of sorrow into a season of joyful gathering. You are going to gather peace. You are going to gather provision. And you are going to gather absolute victory. Hold out your hands right now. Receive the reward of your faithfulness. It is yours, and nobody can take it away from you. My beloved, I see the invisible chains you are dragging around your ankles every single day. You have been carrying the heavy, suffocating weight of other people's opinions for most of your life. You twist yourself into knots trying to make everyone else happy. You perform, you strive, and you exhaust yourself trying to earn the approval of people who are just as broken as you are. I am stepping in to break the spirit of people-pleasing right off your back. I am commanding you to stop living for the applause of man. I am handing you the key to absolute freedom, and I am inviting you to walk straight out of that prison of judgment today. I am bringing a complete end to your striving in human strength. You wake up every morning feeling like you have to prove your worth to the world, to your family, and even to me. You have let a spirit of religious bondage tell you that you must be perfect to be loved. I despise that lie. I am dismantling the heavy yoke of religion that makes you feel guilty for simply being human. You do not have to earn my love. You cannot buy my favor with your good behavior. You are already fully accepted, fully forgiven, and wildly loved just as you are. I command you to drop the heavy baggage of trying to be perfect. I am calling you to dance in the genuine liberty wherewith my Son has made you free. Think about what it feels like to take off a heavy backpack after carrying it up a mountain all day. That incredible feeling of lightness is what I am breathing into your soul right now. I am giving you a light yoke and an easy burden. When you walk into a room, you no longer have to worry if people like you, because you already know that the Creator of the universe is absolutely obsessed with you. You are a true son or daughter of the King, and you carry royal blood in your spiritual veins. Step into your true identity right now. I want you to walk with the quiet, unshakable confidence of someone who knows they are completely secure. Stop apologizing for taking up space in this world. Stop shrinking down to make other people feel comfortable. I created you to shine brightly, to speak boldly, and to live freely. Let the opinions of the world slide off your shoulders like water off a rock. I am your only judge, and my verdict over your life is pure grace. Take a deep breath of this fresh, liberating air. You are completely free. Walk like it. Live like it. Enjoy the beautiful liberty of my spirit. My precious one, I need you to look around your life and realize that your current containers are too small for what I am about to pour out. You have been praying for a massive breakthrough, but you have maintained a very tiny mindset. You are asking me for a flood, but you are only holding up a thimble. I am commanding you right now to actively enlarge the capacity of your heart and your mind to receive. I am telling you to stretch your tents and strengthen your stakes. You must get your physical and spiritual house in order, because I am getting ready to give you exceedingly, abundantly more than you could ever ask or even think. I am instructing you to start cleaning out the old to make room for the new. You cannot put brand new furniture into a house that is filled with garbage. I want you to do a thorough inventory of your life. I command you to throw out the toxic relationships that drain your energy. I command you to evict the bitter grudges you have been holding against people who hurt you. I command you to delete the bad habits and the time-wasting distractions that steal your focus. You need empty space in your life so I can fill it with divine connections, fresh resources, and new opportunities. If you hold on to the past, your hands will be too full to catch the future. I am preparing you to manage the wealth of this massive turnaround. The blessing I am bringing is going to change your zip code, change your bank account, and change your level of influence. With that new level comes a new requirement of wisdom. I am pouring out a supernatural wisdom over your mind right now. You will know exactly what to save, what to invest, and what to give away. You will not be foolish with the open doors I provide. You are going to be a brilliant steward of my goodness. I am raising you up to be a distributor of hope in your community. I demand that you stay fiercely humble in the midst of this great promotion. When the money comes, when the recognition arrives, and when the tables turn in your favor, do not forget the Father who lifted you out of the mud. Keep your knees bent and your heart soft. The higher I take you, the more completely you must depend on me. I am trusting you with this massive overflow because I know the core of your heart. You are ready for this. Expand your vision. Make room in your schedule. Make room in your expectations. The dam is breaking, and the flood of my goodness is rushing directly toward your front door. My child, we have reached the end of this specific conversation, but we are standing at the exact beginning of your new reality. I want you to listen to the absolute authority in my voice right now. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I have spoken these words over your life, and I do not speak empty syllables. I am sealing this complete turnaround by the irrevocable power of my word. What I have decreed over your finances, your health, your family, and your mind is now locked into place. No demon in hell, no human system, and no mistake from your past can alter the trajectory of what I have just set into motion. I am issuing a final, terrifying command to the enemy of your soul. I command him to stand back from your property, from your children, and from your mind. He has overstayed his welcome, and his lease is completely terminated. I am placing a permanent, flaming sword of protection at the gate of your life. The shift that is happening right now is not a temporary emotional high. This is a fleeting moment of evasion. This is a permanent, generational shift in your bloodline. You are crossing over a threshold today, and the bridge behind you is burning. You are never going back to the way things used to be. The season of defeat is dead and buried. I am extending a deeply personal invitation for you to enter into the absolute rest of your Lord. The war is over. You do not have to fight for your survival anymore. I have fought the battle, and I have handed you the trophy of victory. I want you to lay your head on my chest. Feel the steady, calming beat of my heart. I am taking the heavy armor off your tired shoulders. I am washing the dirt of the battlefield off your face. You are entirely safe in my hands. I command your nervous system to calm down. I command your anxious thoughts to evaporate into nothingness. Commit your entire future into my faithful hands right now. You do not need to know the details of tomorrow because you intimately know the God who holds tomorrow. I love you with an everlasting, fierce, and protective love. Let the amen of heaven echo through your entire life. Let it echo in your living room, in your workplace, and in your quietest moments. It is finished. The turnaround is here. Walk in your victory, my beautiful, beloved child. It is done. Now that I have spoken this ultimate, irreversible turnaround over your life, I am calling you to be the vessel that carries this exact breakthrough to the absolute ends of the earth. I know you feel the intense burning of my spirit compelling you to act, and I am inviting you to physically partner with the miraculous work happening through this channel. Your financial support acts as a mighty spiritual battering ram, breaking down the iron doors of depression and poverty for millions of listeners who desperately need to hear my voice today. When you sow your faithful seed, you are dropping heavenly manna directly into the hands of those who have been starving in a brutal spiritual wilderness. Remember my eternal decree: whoever brings blessing will be incredibly enriched, and the one who waters will himself be completely watered by my own mighty hand. The time for hesitation is over. The harvest is violently ripe, and I am urgently calling upon my faithful ones to fund the gathering of souls right now. As you give to expand my kingdom, I place an impenetrable hedge of fire around your finances, ensuring that you will never experience the bitter sting of lack again. Release your faith and plant your seed immediately by using the Super Thanks button, becoming a channel member, or donating through the PayPal link found in the description. My beloved child, if your spirit feels the undeniable fire of this divine shift, do not let this holy moment pass you by in silence. I invite you to boldly claim your new season, and seal this word in your heart by making a public declaration of your faith right now in the comments below. Type, "Lord, I receive my total turnaround starting right now," to serve absolute notice to the enemy that your days of defeat are permanently over. As you release the powerful decree into the atmosphere, watch how rapidly I unleash the floodgates of heaven to align every detail of your life for victory. Step into your abundance today, for the tide has irrevocably turned, and your magnificent new chapter begins this very second. Amen.